Hey, whatever, if y'all can hear me, we need to get it. You know, if y'all ain't doing nothing Monday night, we need to get in on that destruction of Black civilization with us,
Yeah, damn, man.
$5 to get in, or $5 get in with us. We're gonna break the book down.
Yeah, you ain't sent that link. Destruction of Black. Yeah, you ain't send a damn Cash App neither, bro.
I did too. I sent it to you.
Hey, share all that information.
Just Cash App $1 I sent it to you.
All right, let me see.
Let's not send it to the wrong. You got it? Okay. I thought about it. Let's not send it to the wrong person.
I'm gonna pay for Corey, Sean. Let me see. Make it make some sense.
I'll send the access code to you. You just send it out there.
Hey, are you gonna be available Wuja Monday?
I'm sorry, I walked away.
I think you gonna
be available.
Oh, he back.
You gonna be available Monday?
I walked away for what? What's going on Monday?
Well, we're gonna have a book discussion on the destruction of Black civilization.
Okay, what time? Because
8 o'clock, son. 8 o'clock Monday.
Okay, I'll do my best. I'll definitely do my best because that's what time I'll be just winding down. I mean, getting in.
No, I ain't gonna pay for you, nigga. It costs $5 to get in, nigga. Shit, I'm gonna pay for niggas who won't come.
Oh, no, I mean, I'll hook it up. I mean, I'll support. So, if I make it, just give me the details, huh?
All
right.
Yeah, I'll get a Zoom link to and then get out the access code.
Yeah, I'm going to pay for them right now. Hold on. Why everybody pile up in the chat? Because now we're on the Pseudo Killers channel. All right. Appreciate everybody coming through. Let that pile up a little bit. All right, damn, I wish you would have said it sooner, Montoya. Come on, man, we gotta get better than that.
Well, I don't know the part y'all doing right now. I just wanted to throw it out since you let me on the broadcast, which I appreciate.
Yeah, there's gonna be less people over here.
It's all good though. Yeah. I mean, it's our first one. It's gonna be dope because you're gonna be on it. But we're doing one book a month. Next month we're doing 50 Cent's Hustle Smarter, Hustle Harder. In the month after that, next month after that, we're doing Ta-Nehisi Coates, Between the World and Me. So it's gonna be varied on which books we do. Gonna jump around, contemporary, classics. Gonna jump around.
Hey, Nehisi, you gonna be on that? You gonna be on that Nehisi Monday?
I'm doing Ta-Nehisi in 2 months. Not next month is 50 Cent.
No, I'm talking to Nehisi. I'm talking to Nehisi.
I was gonna say, my bad.
What's that?
You gonna be on the call Monday? Talking about destruction of Black civilization, 8 o'clock.
I mean, I can. 8 o'clock Monday? Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'll be on.
All right, I'm gonna pay for you because it's $5.
It's $5.
Yeah, don't worry. It's a book club. Don't worry about it.
Oh, the book club?
Yeah, I'm paying.
Oh, I didn't know. I was like, $5. What for? I gotta get in.
Hey, Q, you read Destruction of Black Civilization?
Monday, I don't know if I'm gonna be available.
Oh, you done. You ain't even read the book though, did you?
Well, the way we doing it, we're gonna be sharing some of the pieces, passages. So even if you haven't read it, it's still worth it. But I mean, somebody don't know if they're gonna show up. Definitely don't pay for them. But I don't want you to just throw no money out there. But we set it up so you don't have to read it.
Oh, sure.
That's the difference between the way we're doing it is set up so even if people haven't read it, the way we're gonna do the reading club, hopefully it'll encourage more of our people to read it. If you already read it, you'll just be more thorough on the discussion.
Mm-hmm.
But we're still gonna set up passages for even people that haven't read it. They can still get their take when we share passages. They can get their take on what we're sharing. It's gonna be a little different. It's gonna be just a straight book club. It's an interactive lecture.
Jeremy Cater, I see you. I see you, Evans. Mika. Oh yeah, hey Mika, I thought I made you a moderator over here, Mika. Here it is, Mika. Why you ain't got the wrench? Oh, I gotta get it right. Damn, I can't even make nobody a wrench. Hold on. Hey, Montoya, you daggone Black Socrates, your mic sound crazy. Right, damn. I can't make nobody rich. Hold on.
My mic sound crazy?
Sound crazy. Yo, sound like you're in another planet.
Should I come in and out or something? Or?
Nah, it's just breaking up a little bit. I don't know why.
Has it been breaking up the whole time or it just started?
A little bit, but it sounds a little better. Did you move something around, tweak something?
Yeah, I picked up the phone, holding it. I don't know if that helped.
Oh shoot. Okay, so all right, I'm gonna run this one right here. All right, man. Hey, look, welcome to the Pseudo Killers, man. This is what we do over here on the Pseudo Killers, man. We got Concrete Coy. What's up, Concrete? What it do?
Peace.
Pseudo Killer Fish. What's up, man?
Peace to the panel. Peace to everybody out there listening. You know what I mean? Let's just disseminate some information, man, and try to get some understanding.
Mm-hmm. All right, got you. Sean, what's up with you, man? Pseudo Killer Official. What's up, man?
Good, what's going on, man? Black African Power.
Black African Power, man. Brother Nahisi, man, what it do, man? Good to have you back around, man. Pseudo Killer Official. What's up with you?
Hey, Black African Power. I'm just glad to be on. Been a while. I couldn't get that call-in number for some reason.
Been writing that book, Stop Lying. You know you've been writing that book, man.
Oh, yeah, most definitely. Still on that.
Stop lying, man. Black Socrates, man. Boy, you've been killing pseudos for a long time, Black Socrates. You got a whole event dedicated to killing pseudos. You just don't use the word. What's up, Black Socrates?
What's up, King? Nah, I appreciate you for letting me jump on, man. I was just calling, checking in, send me the link. I was just checking y'all out. So now I appreciate you. I always love chopping up with y'all, man. I respect everything y'all doing, man. And I've said this to y'all. I've said this to plenty of times. The way y'all move, if it get done right, it'll be a time where the public will be more of the public will be ready for the work y'all do. I know if this is your first time hearing me say that, with all the misinformation that is out there, it's difficult for truth sayers. It's difficult for people that walk that path for truth. And you end up being the pariahs. I go through it too, even on the levels I do it at, if you will. But done right, eventually people will have to come to the light.
It's good. It's good. Wuja, what it do, man? Pseudo Killer Official, man. What's up?
Peace. Peace to the panel. Peace to the chat. Hopefully everybody made it on over here from the other conversation. And yeah, I'm just gonna chime in.
All right. Okay. Hey, man, and my man Q Butter, man, got a school, man, promoting scientific literacy, man. Ain't no getting around that, man. All day, every day. What's up, Q?
I'm great, beloved. It's an honor to be here. It's a privilege to, help set the world a little, straight.
Get them straight. All right, so we went over some of the facts, right? And some will say, well, that's just they damn facts. Okay. So all right, I want to kind of I want to show y'all something, and then we're gonna unpack. No, you were hey Wuja, you want to kind of unpack the thing we played? Should I run that one more time? Should I run this and then we unpack it? What you think? I don't know where yet. I'm gonna run this. Y'all can hear me, right?
Yeah, we hear you.
All right.
Yeah, you loud and clear.
All right, I'm gonna do this. Let me do this real quick.
Hey, Q Butter asked what's the link to the feed or something.
You got it? What you mean? Oh, the pseudo killers. On YouTube. Hold on, y'all. Let me get, man. 1 second, y'all. I'm trying to get this on.
And who said something about that's day facts? Who said that?
About the who?
I said a few minutes ago, you said somebody, I don't know if they made a comment or something about somebody that's day facts. Who said that?
Now, you know, that's the running theme in the community. All right, here you go. Let me break this. Here you go. All right. Should be playing.
What we know about the Jacob Blake shooting, National Review. Key details still have not been released, but a picture is emerging. NERPLUS member article Our IOTers didn't wait to hear the full story of the Jacob Blake shooting before torching businesses in Kenosha, Wisconsin. A gun-wielding, 17-year-old, pro-police counter-protester from Illinois has been arrested on suspicion of killing 2 in the city on Tuesday night. And half a week after the incident, officials still have not released key details about what happened to start it all. But a fuller picture is slowly emerging. Here's a brief look at what we know. It began, as officer-involved shootings often do, with a call to the police. The dispatcher told the cops that a woman had called, and that Blake isn't supposed to be there, and he took the complainant's keys and is refusing to give them back. An attorney for Blake's family has said Blake was trying to break up a fight between 2 women. The dispatcher also told officers that there was a wanted alert for someone at the address. Indeed, Blake had a warrant for his arrest based on charges of third-degree sexual assault, trespassing, and disorderly conduct in connection with domestic abuse. Exactly how the incident escalated isn't known, but Blake quickly ended up physically scuffling with the officers, who unsuccessfully tried to tase him. Within a few minutes of the cops' arrival on the scene, the fateful seconds captured in 2 viral videos unfolded. Blake walked away from the 3 officers, 2 of whom followed him with guns drawn. Blake was reportedly told to drop the knife. He walked around his SUV, holding something in his hand, though it's not clear what, opened the door, and bent over. An officer grabbed Blake's shirt to try to stop him, but soon fired 7 times into Blake's back, paralyzing him in the presence of his 3 kids. Yesterday, Wisconsin's Department of Justice identified the officer who fired his weapon as Rustin Shesky and reported that during the investigation following the initial incident, Mr. Blake admitted that he had a knife in his possession. Division of Criminal Investigation, agents recovered a knife from the driver's side floorboard of Mr. Blake's vehicle. A search of the vehicle located no additional weapons. It remains unclear whether Blake was carrying the knife during the altercation, or if he went to the vehicle to get it, or what. These details leave a lot we don't know, frankly, too much. In a case as fraught as this one, officials have a duty to be transparent about what happened as quickly as possible. Nature Made is the #1 farm. It would be good to hear the officer's side of the story.
Y'all can hear that,
Ideally,
right?
we'd also have body camera footage, but we never will.
Yeah.
Kenosha doesn't plan to buy body cameras until 2022. The BBC reports that they do have microphones. Nonetheless, there are some important things to keep in mind as the rest of the information comes out. One is that when someone deliberately disobeys the instructions of a police officer with his gun drawn and instead reaches into a vehicle or toward his waistband, the officer usually can't wait to find out what the suspect is pulling. By that time, it's too late. This case somewhat resembles that of Terrence Crutcher in Tulsa, Oklahoma, who similarly defied commands and reached into a vehicle. The cop who shot him was acquitted. As my former colleague David French put it a few years ago, Crutcher didn't have a gun, but the law does not require cops to be omniscient. It requires that they be reasonable. It is reasonable to believe that a person who won't obey commands, won't get on the ground, and is walking back toward, and ultimately reaching in, his car is a threat. In this case, of course, the details are a bit different. The full analysis will involve ascertaining where the knife was and when, what the cops knew about it and when, whether they thought Blake was getting a different weapon from the SUV, and, most important, whether Officer Shesky reasonably feared that Blake posed an imminent threat when he opened fire. Going by what is currently known, however, I'm doubtful that Shesky will be successfully prosecuted. Blake went into the SUV in open defiance of the officers, and a lethal weapon was found in that part of the vehicle. At the key moment, a non-compliant suspect was in close proximity to both a knife and the cops he was fighting with. A knife can kill someone quickly up close. Few juries would think it unreasonable for an officer to fear for his life in that situation. Another thing to bear in mind these coming weeks is that even when a final decision to shoot is justified under the law, officers sometimes could have avoided the situation by making different tactical decisions earlier in the confrontation. Regardless of what happens in court, anytime someone is shot by the police, it's worth thinking about whether the incident should have been handled differently. Could the cops have gotten Blake under control earlier? Are there lessons here for future confrontations? This too will hinge on lots of information we don't have yet. I would say we should keep our heads cool until all the important details are known. But alas, it is too late for that.
Now, more than ever, people want to know if there's anything they can do to help. And the answer is...
All right, so there we go right there, man. Y'all heard that, man? Anybody want to add something to that? What's y'all thoughts? What y'all think?
It's only one thing to think. Well, nah, take that back. People think a lot of things, but it don't take this situation to throw out the next step, and people are not gonna be comfortable with this next step. But the next step is that we get past the emotions, and during police stops, the one and only response is compliance. From a strategic standpoint, not afraid of the police standpoint. It's from a strategic, whatever we say. I got on y'all on the last broadcast, you were talking about building futures and understanding how to use the money and that type of thing. Well, if you plan to leave a legacy or you're fortunate enough to be set yourself up to do that, the wackest thing in the world is to be taken out by a random police stop. And if the way I can guarantee that I'm never taken out by a random police stop is to comply, but also to start culturally teaching our children that from the standpoint of, yeah, we tell them about the talk and the 10 and 2, but we're not walking them through, training them to that. You have to train people because it's very natural to, if you're not wrong, to say you're not wrong and go back and forth. That's very natural, but that's not something our community can afford. And then when somebody just bees defiant, I don't want them to get killed, but at the same time, America is showing us a reality that lets me know we got to be more strategic than the response we know they're gonna have quite often. I mean, I don't want to exaggerate it. You know how I am about the numbers. I'm gonna think you're gonna share some numbers on this thing. I mean, the actual shootings are minute compared to the 18 million stops we have yearly. And I'm not trying to minimize those, but that's the ultimate thing. And naturally, a death would get attention. So it makes sense that they get the most attention. The bigger issue, really, when it comes to policing, is all the stuff that happens when people not getting shot. All the discrimination, like that's the bigger issue, and this issue brings that out. But as far as the killings themselves, once they show up, act the fuck right. And that's not blaming the victim. That's just has to be Black people's response in America. It's just strategic. It's nothing about being afraid.
All right. So let me let Q in here. Let me let the rebel riser in here. Hear what you guys say. Go ahead, Q. What is it that you want to say?
I mean, I personally, Biggie said it best.
He's using Biggie.
Be cool, fool.
Yeah.
Like that's really, first and foremost, professionally speaking, the cop should have used different tactics. The guy was about 150 pounds. Like there was 4 cops. They could have did a lot of things prior to shooting him to set dead that situation. Those aren't New York City cops. That situation would not look like that. New York City cops don't play like that, especially the Puerto Ricans and the Spanish ones. They would have choked him up so fast.
Yeah, they're gonna tear you up.
Yeah, they would have. Chicago cops would have wound him up. You know what I mean? Baltimore cops, Philly cops, you know what I mean? That's Wisconsin. They don't know what to do. They scared of black men, you know? And so now I don't like speaking on this, I ain't gonna lie publicly, but to be responsible, first and foremost, if I got a gun on you, don't reach in your car, because I might shoot you or I'm gonna gun butt you.
Yeah, it's real.
Period.
So then let's go beyond that. If somebody got a gun on you, you are now playing with your life. Let's remove police, and the only thing I see is a 9 or 40 caliber bullet looking at me with at least 15 little brothers in the clip. So let's be humble. None of us got that Superman juice, and if we do got like that, I'm not promoting that. And so with the music studio, I deal with a lot of dudes that's on the run, and be cool, fool, is the calm. Like if you know that you got it, and to me, it looked like he knew that he had a situation and he was trying to get up out of Dodge. You know what I mean? But at that time, it might have been a time to use G. Like, look, officer, let me holler at you, man. Look, my fault. Look, I know you're coming, there was a situation. Or before that even comes, if you know you got a warrant, get the fuck up out of Dodge. Like, people not gonna, the Breonna Taylor situation, right? If you a dealer, you a drug dealer, you don't keep your family at your crib.
Mm-mm.
You know what I mean? Like, that's rule number one, you know what I mean? And so, like, he thought somebody was running in his crib. It might have been a bunch of hooligans running in his crib. You know what I mean? He didn't know who it was. He let his gun go on some gangster shit. That's the type of time when he's on. You shouldn't have your wife there. You know what I mean? That's the rules of the street. And that's just, you know what I mean? So, like, I understand this, like, the police shot back, you know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean? You shoot at me, I'm gonna shoot back. Like, it's like, like the brother's saying, like, we, in our circle, we gotta teach us how to be smart. Like, we have a class called Black Political Thought in our institute. And I tell the students, this class is inspired by the ass whoopings, the shootings, the illegal lock-ins, the falsifications. This is why we call ourselves Black. We didn't choose to call ourselves Black, but this system we in, you better know how to deal in this system, because if not, your ass will be locked the fuck up, shot the fuck up, hung the fuck up, dried the fuck up, whatever one you want to pick, they're going to do something with you. And if you're not smart, you're going to end up in that situation. And then your moms or your girlfriend will be crying on TV asking for justice. Ain't no justice in this situation. And then you got this same Black weirdo lawyer going to pop up, talk about, yo, I got your civil case. I got you. Like, where did this dude pop up every time? He's Al Sharpton in it. You know, so it's like, you know, so we do need to be smarter. To me, the situation is fucked up. A lot of these situations, the police professionally need better training. They need a different level of restraint. They need more personal accountability and a moralistic position of accountability. And we as brothers, we need a better temperament with such situations.
Yeah, I love everything that brother said. The one thing I would, we actually let him off the hook with the concept of better training. And what I mean by that is, I think you're absolutely right about the Wisconsin cops not being able to do what you, like you said, the cops, basically those cops are more familiar with that type of situation. So, and I'm not trying to but I'm saying we let the cops off the hook when we say better training from the standpoint of, we watch all the time them apprehend motherfuckers acting and cutting the fuck up. We just don't get that opportunity. So I just like to be real clear. I don't even like to give them the lay of better training, because they are trained quite often, not all of them, but for the most part, they don't shoot motherfuckers all the time. But it's silly of us as Black people to think we're gonna get treated like they treat other motherfuckers. They got plenty of training on how not to kill us. But since that's not our reality, being smart, like you're saying, Q-Butter, is necessary. It's fucking necessary.
Yeah, because they're going to shoot your Black ass. You know what I mean? The white dude steal from the store, you're going to get walked in the car.
We don't get to do what everybody do.
Yeah, we're going to get shot in the back. You know, we got to understand that. And that's the color of the world.
So, okay. So I did a blog, right? Did a little 30-minute spot. And my recommendation is treat the police like the stick-up man. You know what I'm saying? You make your mouth up, what you gonna do? Like, I'm not running. I just ain't got it in me to run from police and stick up, man. Nigga, look, you got me. You got to drop on me what you need. Simple as that, nigga. All right? That's how I've been carrying on my life. The police got you. They got you. I see you in court, nigga, because I know you made a mistake. And that's why the police be mad, because if you sharp, they always make mistakes in trying to lock you up. So you just wait for that little crack. So all that, you know, Calvin the Tough is crazy for me. I don't fight the police. I don't run from police. I don't run from stick-up, man. You got me, yo. You know what I'm saying? And you know the difference between a stick-up man and a nigga putting a hit on you. Because the nigga putting a hit on you is coming with the thing banging. All right? Ain't no doubt about it, nigga. Then that nigga trying to come kill you. It's difference. So my recommendation is, nigga got a gun. Do what he asks. Ain't no shame in that. I'm not gonna let niggas act like that the fact that if a person want to make it home to their family, that they're a sucker, you know what I'm saying, for acting like they got some sense around the police. Brother Unc not promoting that, yo, because I've been in the real shit. I've been shot up twice. All right, I know what the real shit is. You know what I'm saying? I know what gunpowder smell like. You know what I mean? If you've been shot, you know what the fuck gunpowder smell like. Simple as that. All right? So, you know, act accordingly. All that, the police don't need a history lesson. Don't bring out your Morris game. All that shit is for the birds. Like Q said, if you got a motherfucking warrant, then you ain't supposed to be in the fucking situations anyway. You back in the same situation that you got a warrant for. That's when my antennas come up. Taking people keys, all that shit. Now you reckless, and now you got the goddamn NBA. This is some funny shit. These niggas is boycotting. That's some crazy shit. They should just say we boycotting because it's time to get our money. We want to change, and the only way to get the change, man, is for them to cut that damn check. That's where the real change gonna come in for our community. Is when we get a chance to empower ourselves. I just, you know what I'm saying? You familiar with this book? Hope y'all familiar with this book right here, man. All right. The hidden cost of being African American, man. You know what I'm saying? Your middle class ain't their middle class, baby. You know what I'm saying? Your wealth, your inheritance. All right. Some of us are fortunate to get inheritance. My mother did the right thing. She made sure I'd be straight. All right. But how many people is able to do that? It's not happening, man. The majority of us is not getting that break. Okay? So, man, it's time for them. It's time for the professional athletes to put more money into our community. It's time for professional athletes to use their platforms, right? For the owners of these teams to use the platform to get our reparations, man. All that marching outside, not saying one thing about goddamn reparations. Hey, Q, I'm damn near about to think that they trying to make a lot of noise. You know what I'm saying? So we don't start thinking about reparations. Man, we better, man, shit, they might be getting close. Shit, yeah, we better act like we like them. That's how I'm feeling about it, man. Where you at, Wuja? Oh, man, you did. What about you, Corey? Where you at? Man,
Hey, like I said, though, yeah, I was on mute. But like I said, or like you said, I'm sorry. The thing is, you got to make a decision. You know what I mean? Is it worth your life? You know, is it worth your life not to comply with this officer? You know what I'm saying? Sometimes it might be. You know what I mean? Sometimes niggas might be facing. You know, I don't know what this dude's warrant was about, but sometimes they may be a 3-time loser. You know what I'm saying? Just depending on where you at. You know what I'm saying? And what the state laws is, and like I said, what the situation was. So it might be worth your life to try to pull something to try to get away, but most of the time it ain't. You know what I mean? And you know, you got to think about you know, what you leaving behind. And so, you know, that's the most important thing what we got to think about in all these things and the whole situation is the people that we leaving behind is got to deal with that. I think Q Butter said, you know, you know, people's mom and wife be out here asking for justice, but it ain't no justice, and you know what I mean, in this situation. So, you know, yeah, we got to make better decisions.
And that just comes from education.
Training. You know what I'm saying? We talk about the police training, but you know, we got to do some training. We got to train ourselves.
Exactly.
I mean, even before training though, King, it really just comes down to education. Training is education. Like, we have millions of Black children who are taught by white women who don't live nowhere, don't even live three zip codes near them. Like, it's crazy. Like, the police and the teachers in New York live at least 40 miles away from the kids. Like, that's just crazy. Like, you have no cultural understanding, and so you can't guide a kid to understand what it is to walk home at night and look like somebody that just robbed the store. You know, you can't guide them with all of the different hunger issues they may have, or the bullying issues and the peer pressure. And so these things align with just the bad education. It's just as simple as that.
Hey, and you know what, Q, you made me think about something, man. What haven't been said, what I haven't been hearing said lately is we gotta be the police. I mean, how come it's not cool to be a police officer? You know what I mean? And police your own neighborhood. That way, that'll stop that, because we don't look like you know what I'm saying, somebody who just robbed a bank. You know what I'm saying? When I look at Q with his hat turned, I don't see a bank robber. So if I'm a police officer, I'm not approaching Q in that same in the way, you know, in that way that somebody from outside of Q's community that's a police officer. So I think that's a big time issue.
That worked for the mafia and the Italians and the Irish, because at the end of the day, their schools were aligned with their culture. So when them Italian dudes was joining the police, their culture was still innately Italian. The Irish was like, I'm still doing this for Irish. Right now, because we're being taught by whites, we join the system thinking that we're for the system. And so you got whole cities like Atlanta, Georgia. It blew my mind. I didn't see, yo, Uncle, when I first met you, I the only white person I saw in Georgia, and I've never been somewhere so Black as Georgia in my life. I'm talking about everybody Black, just like, what the fuck? It's crazy, everybody Black. And them, you know, and I'm trying not to say coon anymore, but, you know, we got a lot of people that's just not culturally developed. And because of that, their ignorances prevail, you know, and it doesn't matter what area of work they go into.
So I still think it's a great strategy. And because what happens is right now, our disdain is such that the people that are entering or coming out, like I'm in Atlanta here with and you're right, most of the officers are Black, but because of the disdain and the relationship that we have now, there is no strategy in those who are choosing it at this point. But if we were to take what the brother's saying, and I've been a fan of this for the longest, which is basically the concept of community policing. Well, that's only going to work in the event that we are raising up a generation to take those positions. And so what happens is you can send in children with a level of consciousness that they don't just follow the system. But cats is just kind of choosing it right now. While our culture hates the police, you're damn right they finna act like we don't want them to act. Because that's who's choosing it right now. So we can be strategic the same way that white supremacists have been in certain areas have been strategic in who they're putting in the police forces, because they do it to a degree or whatever. Because for the most part, a lot of times we talk about police as if what we're seeing isn't just the element of who society is. The police is just really just society. But we do know the FBI even has tracked it, that the white supremacists are infiltrating some of these some of these departments. So the police probably is a little more racist than society is, if that makes sense. And so we have to be just as strategic. And so I would, for example, Cuba, like the people you're training, I don't know your institution, But if you were to add that as a job opportunity or something that should be considered, that they've been trained by you, I ain't worried about that kid. And that's all I'm saying.
You know, y'all are familiar with broken windows, right?
Yeah, definitely.
I have the psychological opposite, like fixed windows. I think the concept of being policed and needing policing is poor. The result of poor habits, the result of poor circumstances, the result of poor education. If you remove those variables, the need for policing gets very much more minimalized.
Yeah. No, you're right. So, like I said, the number one killer of black, like your social economic status, bro. Like, that's the point.
Absolutely.
That's the point. Why? Right? The hidden cost, you know what I'm saying, of being an African American, valuable book, right? We need to close the wealth gap, and you're not going to power through that.
Exactly.
So
there's a book, right, called The Jewish Phenomenon.
So hold on, Q. Let me finish my point. Hold on. So my point is, the work you do in educating, okay, that's valuable. LeBron James putting a school together is valuable, right? Teaching scientific literacy is so damn valuable, okay? Because it's going to help at least you and your immediate family can close that wealth gap a little bit, right? But overall, we need the damn check cut. Simple as that, bro.
Hey, let me throw in one thing. I know you want to say this real quick.
Hold on. Let me make my point.
One quick thing.
I got
my bad,
you.
my bad. I thought you were finished.
Hold on.
My bad.
You should be in a position, I hope, to get some of this money that's going to be coming down the pipe for those who are educating in the community, yo. You should be in that position. You should fight hard for that. You should make sure you get that money, bro. All right, because that's some valuable shit. If you teaching, how many kids you teaching? 10, 15, what? What is it?
10, 15. We hopefully almost at 200 by September.
Okay. All right. Well, shit, nigga, I undercut you. So I ain't want to over. I just want to shoot low.
We not undershoot. We definitely over won something. We got a lot of parents waiting to send in paperwork. It's kicking my, it's busting, it's pissing me off. But we definitely in the ones.
Okay, so then listen, man, you should be getting some funding that way for real. Not the kibbles and bits that niggas be donating, because that's not gonna get it done. And you already know that. What's gonna get it done is getting some serious money. You got NFL players, right, in New York. They need to be looking for organizations like yours. They need to be fucking donating. They don't need to be fucking boycotting, fucking up their check. That shit's stupid to me. All right, based off of, it's just crazy to me. But go ahead, Montour. You was going to say something. Thanks, Socrates.
Yeah, the one quick thing was when you were saying the fixed window thing, like what you're saying, you're absolutely right. It does do that. But just think about this, at least in America, because we're not going to just remove the police, if you will. But if you think about what you're saying, you're right. But what does that look like? I'm still wanting to send our kids into policing. When those things are done, what happens is those communities still have police. They just don't have a lot of police incidents. So we're still going to have police, but you fix it, and let's still make sure that the police look like us for whenever a police incident happens, even in communities that have the value that you're talking about. So you still don't get rid of police, you just get rid of police incidents. Does that make sense?
It's the result of it, you know what I mean? And there's many, like, ownership for me. That's what I was gonna say. Like, there's a book called The Jewish Phenomenon. I'm not saying read the book, but in this book, this economist did the survey of the Jewish community and why they have so much wealth and stuff. And he said that there's 7 principles, but the top principle is that the Jewish community feels that wealth is knowledge and real wealth is portable. Their entire community has nothing to do with religion. He said the reason why they make some of their whole community views knowledge as well. You see what I mean? What you inherit is knowledge. Don't worry about my wallet. Worry about this knowledge I'm gonna give you in your head and the connections that I have built up for you already. And the lifestyle that comes about from wanting knowledge and pursuing the mastery behind being a professional person, which is one of the other things. For them, a successful person is a professional or a business person. In our community, a successful person is someone with notoriety. And that's something that was taught to us. Now, removing these concepts and really delving into, like what you said, we need to get what we're doing to get our community in that space, to where we can, what our uncles and what I'm putting into the spot, which nobody seems to have, is what is the profitability of your Black plan? I'm cool with asking for money and looking for that, but I also know that with education, I can predict money. And that's something that's been missing from the community. A lot of the religious people, that's my new angle now. How much money are you predicting to be able to produce out of your community? And if you don't have STEM within the confinements of your focus, you will not be producing anything. You will be working for somebody who's making something in STEM.
All right. I want to show y'all something here. This is stir the conversation up. Okay. Let me screen share right here. And you ain't getting around this. All right. Why the professional athletes, why LeBron James and them, why the community not looking at this? I don't know. So right here, we got this chart. On this chart, it is, get you the bottom of it, hold on. On this chart, we got exactly, we got 6,108. 6,108 what, Unc? Shootings. So let's see. Fatal shootings by the police. 600 and, what did I say? 608. All right, let's start from the top. Everybody see the screen, right? Everybody see the screen?
Yep, we see the screen.
Okay, so this is from the Washington Post. Like I said, fatal police shooting data. Okay, it gives you the methodology and all that. Let's see what's going on. Let's see if we should be riding the streets for police shootings or riding the streets for some goddamn compensation for 500 years of working free in the transcontinental kidnapping trade. Let me see. So we got Tim Elliott right here, 2015. Remember, they didn't start compiling the information until 2015, after the brother Brown got fatally shot in Ferguson. Okay, before that point, right, and it's still that point, the police department, right, it's not a law saying that they have to even turn over the information. That's why there was a disparity in the FBI information, because they wasn't getting the information, but it wasn't against the law. So I suggest y'all fight for that. That's something to fight for. Make them turn over those numbers of fatal police shootings. So there was an investigation by the Washington Post, and they figured that out, and they start compiling the information. Okay? So 5,585 people have been shot and killed by police since January 1st, 2015. Here you go. Tim Elliott, shot. Was the man of death? Shot. Was he armed? Gun, right? Age 53, male, gender. A, I believe that's for. I don't know what the A is for. I know the W is for white. I'm thinking the H is for Hispanic, right? And the B is for Black. All right? It says sign of mental illness. Says true. Might have sign of mental illness. Level of threat, right? Attack. So he was attacking. Was he fleeing? He wasn't fleeing. Body camera false. Okay. Next one. Louis Lee Limbicki. He was shot. He was armed. Got two people with guns. Y'all gonna start to see a running thing right here. City, the law. Okay. Race, white. Sign of mental illness, false. Nope. One no sign of mental illness. Level of threat, attack. Fleeing, not fleeing. Most people not even fleeing. Body cam false. Next person, John. What about you, John? Okay, he was shot and tased. He was unarmed. I would like to highlight the unarmed. He was unarmed. Okay, Witcher, that's the city. Race, Hispanic. Signs of mental illness, false. Other threat, they say other, I don't know what that is, don't tell you. Not fleeing, false. Okay, let's see the next item up for bids. Watch this. Gets goddamn interesting. Matthew Huffman, shot. Toy gun. Y'all see that? Damn. Toy gun. White guy, right? Age 32. I don't know what the hell a 13-year-old doing with a toy gun. San Francisco, signs of mental illness, true, right? Level of threat, attack, not fleeing. Let's move on. Michael Rodriguez, crazy, shot. He had a nail gun. He has a nail gun. Yeah, y'all know anybody ever had a nail gun? That shit's serious. Evans, that's the city. Hispanic, right? Mental illness, false, attack. All right, that's a level of threat, not fleeing. Here we go again. Kenneth Arnold, gun, got a gun. He was armed, right? Mental illness, false, attack. He was fleeing in the car. But watch this. I ain't gonna gotta keep reading. We can just keep going on a gun, unarmed. I like to highlight the unarmed people being shot fatally by police. At this point, out of 16 people, 2 was unarmed, right? No mental illness, unarmed. Next one, shot, toy weapon. A lot of toy weapons going on. If you think the police are going to determine whether your weapon is a real gun or not, you're simply living in an enchanted forest. Knoxville, false. All right, no mental illness there. Here we go. Next one up, night him up, knife. He had a knife, shot and tased with a knife. White guy. That's a black guy with the toy weapon, by the way. All right. Stockton, false, no mental illness, attack, wasn't fleeing. Gun, knife. Gun, shovel. This fool got a I ain't gonna call him a fool, that's crazy. Take that back. Shovel, shot, white guy, Salt Lake City, false. No mental illness there.
No, that's a fool. You're right.
Yeah, that's
a fool. If I get shot with a shovel by the cops, I'm a fool.
The disparity though is not if you get shot. The disparity you're looking for is how many black people are shot unarmed versus how many white people are shot.
We ain't there yet. We don't worry about that yet. We ain't gonna do that yet. We're gonna get to all that. Because we know black people get shot twice as much.
Twice as much.
Yeah, that's not the point. We're talking about armed. He goes another unarmed guy. That's a black guy, unarmed. False no mental illness attack, right? Gun, knife. Gun, they ain't have nothing on them, right? Gun, knife. Gun, knife. Gun, knife. Gun. Toy weapon, that's a toy, black guy, toy weapon, knife, nothing, knife, gun, knife, gun. A vehicle can be considered dangerous. Unarmed, I like to highlight the unarmed people. Hispanic, false, all right. Knife, nothing. Gun. Hammer, this guy has a hammer. They shot him and tased him. Tough guy right there. Gun, unarmed. Ralph Williams, white, okay. Gun, knife, unarmed. Another white guy, unarmed. David, unarmed. I'm gonna highlight the unarmed people. Gun, knife, gun, unarmed. Never unarmed. Hispanic guy. No, this is black guy right here. Jeremy Lent, unarmed, black. All right. No mental illness. Okay. 28 years old brother. Gun, unarmed Hispanic guy. All right. Unarmed. You go. Hernandez. He was unarmed. Gun, knife, gun, toy weapon, white guy. Gun, unarmed Hispanic guy. Knife, toy weapon, never white guy. Knife, black guy got a knife right here. Knife, Philip, right, he had a knife. This person absolutely didn't have anything, white guy. Gun, unarmed Hispanic guy. Never toy weapon, gun, unarmed white guy. Gun, toy weapon, white guy. Knife, black guy. Unarmed Hispanic. Gun. Knife, gun. I'm only at 100. I'm at 370. Look, gun, knife, gun, unarmed, right? Gun, unarmed. Black guy, St. Louis, okay? Louis, unarmed.
I think we might get your point, huh?
I don't think they get my point. Gun, unarmed, gun. Look, and I can go on and on and on and on and on and on. And I'm telling you, this took me how long? 5-10 minutes to get this out. Gun, knife, unarmed. Listen, man. Since you think they got my damn point, I don't know if they got my damn point. Let me tell you what my point is. The majority of people shot fatally by police are armed. Whether it's a
96%.
toy, 96%. Whether it's a toy, whether it's a knife, gun, right? 4% are unarmed. That doesn't mean the 4% are guilty or not tagging the police. It doesn't mean none of that. It just means that all this extraordinary heightened, they're gonna kill us, they're gonna kill us. So we know the brother that got shot the other day, he had a what? He had a knife, right? He's gonna make that category. Well, he's not dead, so he's good. Okay, but he was still armed, or they thought he said he had a knife on him, so they consider that to be armed and dangerous. Okay, so my point is very clear here. I know damn well that the athletes and everybody else in this damn world got enough sense to read and understand that the majority of people that are getting shot are armed. And you couldn't expect anybody anywhere, you know what I'm saying, to play with their own damn life. The job, when a police officer runs into an assailant, right, innocent or guilty, the job of both of them is to get home with their damn life.
Yeah, but you do have to understand. Now you have to please understand with the media, most people don't know that most of the people are shot to the arm. So at least I'm not trying to change your point, but it's saying just understand the athletes don't know that most people are not being shot. Most people don't know. They just, and I'm not saying like that the media by itself is the issue. I'm just saying because of how it's hyped up, and the media used to make their money. So I'm not even saying they're going over the top. I'm just saying just the way it's presented. Most people don't know that it's usually only, from 30 to 20 black people, unarmed people killed every year. Like every year, that's it. But most people, I'm not knocking people for not knowing, but you understand they don't know that.
Well, you should educate yourself on the issue before you speak out on it and cause the riot. That shit is crazy.
Yeah, it's hard to do that.
You got
it. Is that some, but there also is.
Where you at, King Sosa? You ain't said nothing. Hold on. Go ahead, King Sosa. You said.
All right. Look, most people know that the people that get shot got guns. Like I don't think that's uncommon. It's that I'm saying the focus is on unarmed black people getting shot, and see you can't. It's like if you say 30, that ain't really a big deal. It's like okay, what number is sufficient? See what I'm saying? Because like if it's my son, one too many. See what I'm saying? So that's why that's why you can't just dismiss, say, well, only 40 people got shot. Like that's like
it ain't 40, dog. It's 13 to 20, and I'm just keeping it a buck with you, dog. It ain't even 40.
Okay, all right. So
well,
what number is too much?
One is an issue, but
okay, if one is an issue, if one is an issue, how much is 13?
Right, I understand what you're doing, but you're missing.
People, hold on, out of 54 million people. Hold on, out of 54 million people.
It's about 44 million people. 44 million people ain't committing crimes or come into contact with police. So you can't use them numbers like that.
Well, the number you can use is 18 million stops a year, though. Use 18 million. It's 18 million stops a year.
Let's be the police history is what they have to own. That's where this comes from. It's hypersensed right now. Just like rape and what you call it, touching a woman. You know what I mean? Like I told a young boy, in the Puerto Rican Day Parade, you could do what you want back in the days. Like it was like no holds barred. Like you did whatever you wanted through and women came out, it was whatever. Like you touch a girl now, that's rape. Like you touch her shoulder, she can scream rape at you. Like that's where the police have to understand where this is because of the history that they have. And I think my little bit of advice, do more for the community in other ways, so that way the people can start being open to this, to the concepts and the numbers that you're saying. but they have such a bad history where it's not just the killings. You know, the killings is the highest point of it. They don't want to kill you because if they kill you, you know what I mean? They're killing you. They're not making no money off of you. They're not breaking you down. They're not furthering it. Putting you in jail for years is the real issue. That's where the system's making money. You know what I mean? And the connection of the whole thing.
Systemic racism right there, not the damn police.
That's the whole piece. It's the police, it's the DA, right now. It's the court system, it's the school system, it's the whole piece of it goes into it. You know what I mean? So I can't just, so that's why when you say boycotting, it's not like, for me, it's the whole fucking system. So you can't clean AIDS by filtering your fucking finger. I'm gonna clean all of my AIDS, but just kicking the blood out my, no, you got to fix the whole system, or if not, you just ignorant. And I think that's what a lot of us, when we pick, like, look, oh, now they want to boycott this, or now they want to get, I love it. I'm like, at the end of the day, it's an energy.
Yeah, I love it. You gotta look what happened. NBA boycott, WNBA boycott, Major League Baseball boycotted, that's NHL boycotted, right? Milwaukee Bucks, because they boycotted, they got the Attorney General on the phone that night. So I'm saying, because what the NBA players is calling for is they want the owners to step up. They want the owners contact. You feel me? Like niggas were trying to get Meek Mill out of jail for a long time. Robbie Kraft and the owner from the Philadelphia 76ers went down there. That nigga was out of jail. 2 weeks later, there was a new judge on the scene. Like, they want them connects. That's what they pushing.
Why are you doing that, King Sosa? Do you know what you're doing right now, yo?
What am I doing?
You trying to tell a country that's built on guns, stop shooting motherfuckers, that they ain't really shooting any goddamn way.
It ain't, listen, it's nothing.
No, you be unfair now. I think you brought it.
There's nothing you gonna do. There's nothing you gonna do. Listen, hold on. Let me just say something. Let me just say something. There's nothing you can do that's gonna make somebody else stop somebody. That's not what they're fighting for. They're fighting to, so if it happens that that there's fair prosecution, that there's instead of to break up the police union, to put body cam on all police, to put body cam on police officers, so the arrest record, the police officer past history can be available for the public, so they can't just go get different jobs. Like,
let me add this up. When was it? Anytime you ever heard an NBA player say, "Let's make our own league"? It took George Floyd for Kyrie to say, "Why don't we just start our own league?" I damn near dropped the tear for that shit. Hey, look, bro, we got to take it as it comes. That's what the dudes in war say. Like, look, let them see them get killed. Because at the end of the day, that's going to bring more people that's going to join the mission. That's the reality of it.
So maybe I done got delusional, right? And I'm just not, I don't have as much confidence in that as y'all do. So my confidence, I'm going to have to place it on us. And I just feel that for me, the only thing I can see to make some sense, right, is as simple as that. I want to see the NFL owners use their power to start the real movement towards us getting the fucking reparations that allow their fathers to pass the fucking $1 billion to their motherfucking ass. Okay, the hell with all that shit. So okay, so then they're nobody serious then. See, that's the fucking bullshit. They're not really serious then.
I don't do the work. I don't really do the work.
Listen, I'm not calming down on that.
No,
I don't want to hear it.
I'm with you.
Go ahead, Montoya. No, Montoya. You go ahead and do your thing. I'm gonna mention out. Y'all go ahead.
So
drink some water.
You're not listening.
Oh my God, man, what's going on? Go back, baby.
So the brothers, these brothers are breaking down. So you're not listening. These brothers are breaking down.
King Sosa made a lot of sense. Hold on. Wait, whoa. King Sosa made a lot of sense on the reason. I wanted to finish on the reasons what they're actually fighting for, and that makes sense. And this is going to have to be dealt with Q, and y'all was saying, through the legislation. You have to be able to, like I said, I made a point. I say, dude, why don't police have to actually report fatal shootings? They don't. It's not a law. That don't make no sense to me.
The only way the legislation's getting passed is the money gets on the table. Only way they're going to pass it, not the country, brother, is when people with money start getting in the conversation. And that's what the media is doing. The media is getting people with money who normally would just be focused on sniffing coke and playing with white girls to be like, oh, you know what? Let's be honest. That's what
they fucking up their sniff right now.
They fucking up their sniff time right now. They're like, yo, fuck it, I gotta be black now. Fuck it, shit. I gotta be black. I love LeBron James. Like LeBron James, I'm proud as fuck to be able to say I'm in the era of LeBron James.
Yeah,
like he is facially trying to, not trying, he is being a face. Like that means a lot.
Yeah, I like that. He go, I like that. Go ahead, King. So he was making great points.
And he probably was never gonna walk out, but you gotta pull that card sometime. You know what? Start packing your shit up. Man, I'm out of here, man. I'm sick of this shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, sometimes that's how you gotta negotiate, bro. You know how you do it. You know what? I'm gone. LeBron, hold up, man. I'm out of here, bro. I'm tired of this shit. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you gotta do that, man. That's all
So
it is.
can we just add in, can we get our money? It's
Yeah, I agree with that.
My hashtag is I need my shit back. Hunk, the hashtag is I need my shit back.
Yeah, come on, yo.
I don't want to say reparations. When we talking to white people with a suit, we got our suits on. Yes, I want to file a bill and for reparations. No, I need my shit back. Which crack in this motherfucker I gotta talk to get my shit back? The white bitch over there in England, that old bitch sitting with that gold chair. I need to lift her. I need my shit back.
That's all I'm asking for. I don't even care about all the shit y'all talked about. Y'all
Right, but see, here's the thing. He's like,
not to cut you off, but you don't get your shit back from the stick-up man. You don't, So what we talking about? You say I'm stupid. You don't get your shit back from the stick-up man. Looking at you like, nigga, I'm about to rob this nigga again.
Right. So what's happening is they boycott for everything that Q bought to break it down to you. They both breaking it down to you what the effort is. The people you're talking about right now, to be honest with you, they're not even hip to the reparation game, and it's not their fault that they're not, because they're not even hip to that game. So, like they said, they're doing this shit to get the motherfuckers with money who can move legislation to say, all right, if you want to keep making money off of us, y'all gonna have to listen to some of the shit in reference to not just basketball. So it's a beautiful, smart ass play that don't seem to directly connect. And that's kind of, I get it where you're coming from, but understand it ain't no direct connection from basketball. It's getting like these cats are saying, these rich motherfuckers who can spend money for legislation to say y'all can't just sit on the sideline no more because we making sure y'all can't just sit on the sideline. So it's a very, very brilliant play in reference to the other things you're talking about other than reparations. Like the idea, just so you know, like this is, when it comes to the police, I'm going to show this tomorrow. This is the area I've been fucking with for 10 years. We've been trying to get the fucking police to report this shit. So it's just taking this long. The Washington Post, like you say, what you got, they've been doing that because the police wasn't required. They've never been required to do it. But unfortunately, most places that were asking were not the majority. So motherfuckers that are not affected by this shit, they ain't never voted for this shit. So these players are trying to get motherfuckers with money to push for this shit, because in most places outside of Atlanta and Detroit and Jackson, Mississippi, we ain't got the numbers to get an independent counsel for a police shooting. We ain't, even in New York, we ain't got enough numbers to get the stuff we want these police to do. But if you get these owners, billionaires talking, hey, they need this motherfucking immunity motherfucking lifted, maybe we'll get this shit lifted.
All right. I think they should say, I don't care what you say, Sosa, you're right. You're right. I like the way you put that. Y'all got me off the edge. But I want to know, why don't they say, in conjunction with everything they doing, it's time to have the serious conversation based around our free labor? Why is everybody mums the word on that?
I'll be glad to answer that question. So what happens? Yeah, because what happens is you have to still put things in context and as you and I can have a brilliant conversation about reparations, right? You and I can have a brilliant conversation. But as much as you love what I'm talking about within mental dialogue in our community, if I run outside of the mental dialogue community, outside of people like yourself, if I just run out my door and try to have the reparations conversation from the brilliant way that Yvette, Cornell, and the other brother, because they've done it the best. They've done it the best. So only reason you and I know this is because they laid it out. We paid attention. We read the shit. The reality is very few people know it on that level. So since very few people know it, the average person who's concerned about our lives typically is not going to speak to something they don't know much about. So you have to be, so even your betting them, as good as they've done it, as far as what they're pushing for, we're still in the advertising and propaganda stage of getting more people to even know how to make a smart argument for reparations. When you move outside of your bet and Antonio, when you watch other motherfuckers talk about reparations, it's on some surface level shit that they ain't ever gonna get us no reparations. So I'm just kind of pointing out when you say why they not talking about it. There's been no groundswell on the momentum, and we even got agreement. As smart as you and I think what they're doing is, there's a huge argument on those who are studying it or those who have been pushing for it longer than them. They're still arguing back and forth on which way is right. That hasn't hit the masses, even in our own community. So I ain't expecting no damn athlete to make that comment. Because if you go to an athlete and talk to them about it, they'll just say, I don't know enough about it to talk about it.
So Black, before you chime in, Tongue, when we were educating our own, our athletes were able to speak for us. Like, to me, the root of it,
right, that's fair.
We're trying to look at the game after the athletes and all the members on the board were taught by these crackers. Everybody on this screen more than likely was taught by a cracker, by Hug Muffets and Post. We all celebrated Christopher Columbus Day. We all probably drew a little Indian motherfucker with a circle on a plate when we was 5 years old. You see what I mean? Like that shit.
How the hell you gonna discover something that was already there? I don't know what the hell y'all got at home. I was supposed to be raised at home first before I went. You know what I'm saying? So my point is, like in the destruction of Black civilization, do you remember the chapter when he talks about how the problem is going into white institutions, you know what I'm saying, with a motherfucking thinking that everything is gonna be a certain way. Remember he said that? He said you can't go into that motherfucker thinking like here we go, educate me. You gotta go in there ready, you know what I'm saying, to take on the challenge. That's
that whole concept of that's the old school. It fuck their schools. There's no reason to go to school with them. If we want to be smart,
you overboard with that though, Q.
No, if we want to be smart, like in New York City, look, bro, the top schools in New York are Jewish, and they're only occupied by Jews. You understand? Like culturally, you can't get in there. You don't know the yeshiva. I can show you documents how the yeshivas are milking an IEP. The IEP game in New York City is ran by yeshivas. All the Jewish kids got IEPs.
Well, so they got access to
the legal department for the Board of Education is ran by Jews. This is a fact.
You just
look, I can go on this for look. You see that folder right there?
Yeah.
I can go right there and show you them motherfuckers. I'm trying to learn how they do it because at the end of the day, it's like I said, we have to take responsibility for our own. If we want us to be smart, we have to educate us. We can't say we gotta go to them for education.
Q, you just made my point, Q. Listen, you just made my point, Q. The only way you're gonna do that, and I'm gonna speak to both of y'all, Montoya, I don't care what you say. Nigga, I was 11 years old and I had enough sense to know once I realized it was a slave trade, we worked for free. I was like, well, where our damn money at, man? Didn't you just say we worked for free for 500 years? Aren't we owed something? Like, that's just, like, if it's part of the, listen, man, we actually damn near.
Most people didn't do what you did, though. That's dope that you did that.
Time that you spent realizing.
Don't forget that. Don't forget that most of us didn't do what you did.
Hold on, Socrates.
I give you credit for it, but don't think that we should have done that.
Even with the credit, though, I will tell you it's a waste of time
Because the time that you're spending realizing you're competing with a little, you were competing with a little Jewish dude who didn't spend that time realizing it. He was geared and taught exactly what's going on.
Q, can you hear me? Hold on. Socrates, Black Socrates cut me off and you jumped in to me. Hold on. Back to you. I'm simply saying that the industrial age was literally fueled by damn near the transcontinental kidnapping trade, the fucking industrial. Are we It is the global economy during that time, dude. Who in the hell black don't realize that we're owed something for that?
Most people don't. I have plenty of arguments with a bunch of black motherfuckers who don't believe we do.
Hold on, you cannot use the stick-up man perspective and then turn around and say the stick-up man owes you. This is the jungle. These crackers, look, I need my shit back. That's what you tell a stick-up man. What do you tell a stick-up man? Oh, you owe me my shit? No, I need my shit back.
Yeah, you go
and then when he look at you crazy, he looking at you, oh, this nigga's ready to get his shit back. That's how you deal with a stick-up man. You don't deal with a stick-up man saying, where do I file my application to find out when is a good time to get my stuff back?
No. I'm saying is the way we get our shit back is I feel that if you really want to boycott something and shut shit down, let's shut the motherfucker down and boycott and say, look, part of the package is we need to figure out the way to get this money. Matter of fact, it take everybody 10 minutes right now to identify and short. Right now, we can say give everybody 10 minutes. Hold on, Black Socrates. Wait a minute. It'll take us 10 minutes right now to identify 10 insurance companies, 10 nations that all participated in the slave trade, and we could get their records in 10 minutes. But go ahead, Socrates.
What we gonna boycott though? What the fuck is we gonna boycott?
Niggas stop playing basketball for that, wouldn't they? Why not stop for that?
You know, in the space of it, and I'm learning, and I think a lot of us
science. You know that sound crazy, Black Socrates?
I think we take the hardline approach, and we got to learn to take the small wins. You know what I mean? And any opportunity for it, like we just have to look at it like the unfortunate scenarios that have presented themselves. Whether or not we have differences in the common view, it is a tool right now that is being used to motivate our people.
I like that.
And so at the end of the day, it's business. My business is empowering my people. So whatever's gonna wake your black ass up, cracker shooting this motherfucker, little JJ getting shot, watching Black Panther, whatever the fuck it is gonna wake your black ass up, welcome on in, motherfucker. Come on in. You was an Israelite last week. Come on in.
No matter. Go ahead, Socrates. What was great say?
No. Yeah. What the brother's saying is straight, and I'm just trying to put the context and the perspective of, for example, we're probably 3 weeks away from Bob Johnson saying, one black billionaire calling for reparations, and I'm just putting that in perspective. That was a big move by him. He understands media. He didn't go out there publicly without realizing even his message is going to take some time in this motherfucking country to spread in a smart and effective way. He's just using his platform to start the conversation. I'm just saying, so we definitely need the numbers. What all I'm just simply saying to you is the process is like even like in the destruction of black civilization. The motherfuckers that was integrating Upper Egypt, Lower Egypt. The motherfuckers that was doing, the motherfuckers did that shit over 600 years. I'm not saying we need to wait 600 years for no reparations, but I'm just saying. But what I'm saying is, the fact that they could be that strategic, I'm just simply saying to just start saying to the athletes, boycott for some reparations. When right now, I don't know if you know the numbers, but 71% of the country has no inclination that we deserve reparations. So,
but they were talking about it, right? And the trick bag is that they may put something together and they're talking about it to a certain degree, but they're trying to make it non-specific. Like African Americans and Native Americans, and you see what I'm saying? To give it, but pull it in.
Motherfuckers have started to try to do that, and that's why we gotta fight for it not to happen. So it ain't gonna be no easy fight. It ain't gonna be no easy fight.
Again, we're using their lingo. The whole playing field is thrown off. In my opinion, I don't want reparations right now. us black folks are not in the perspective and the position to properly hold these crackers accountable. Because when I listen to the Yvette Coin, I'm like, yo, you still talking about America. I need my money from fucking Spain, faggot ass, Belgium. I need the Jews, all these motherfuckers. Oh, then the motherfuckers who came there after and benefited from the system that was created, and they completely benefit from the Irish, the Italians, the Greeks, all you motherfuckers. Oh, all you motherfuckers came here and benefit off the system. And then let's talk about the motherfuckers who still benefiting off the stock system. Until we ready to talk like that and have that Samuel Jackson motherfucker. Every time they, motherfucker, I'm about to hit this nigga. I'm about to hit this cracker. Boom, I didn't mean to hit him.
Yeah, and that shit just ain't gonna work, bro.
Yeah, you gotta get the domino. You gotta get that domino first. But once that domino fall, the rest of them start falling.
When we say not gonna work, King,
when I broke down, they have broke down.
Look, why I'm gonna articulate down. Why I'm gonna articulate why I feel it would work is because, like Unc said, it's a stick-up man world. They only respect the gunman. If you're not in that space, if you're not a gangster, if you're not putting yourself up where you're willing to fight for your shit, they're going to keep playing a game with you. These crackers been playing a game with us for 120 years on the papers. Look, file this document. Oh, we're going to do this one. Oh, my bad, we lost your paperwork. Oh, come back next president. Oh, you know what? That was the last presidency. That got lost in legislation. Oh, you know, we got to rewrite the bill. Oh, come back in 4 more years. No, nigga, look, I'm holding all you crackers. Any one of you crackers I see, I need reparations. You look like you got my check. You look like you got my bread too. When they start feeling that energy,
biggest myth.
Yes,
biggest myth in the whole the biggest myth in the whole conscious community is they only respect loss of money and violence. Biggest fucking myth in the fucking world. And I can back this shit up all night long.
All right, let's talk about it. Go ahead. You got the floor.
Back that shit up.
Go ahead. You got the floor, Black Socrates. Go ahead, bro.
Here it is.
Here it is.
Because I get the frustration and I get the anger. But
this is the frustration. This is the historical fact.
We can pull out COINTELPRO Black Panthers and see exactly how they broke their asses down when they was motherfucking carrying their motherfucking guns.
All right, so let me put it out. Hold on, let me say this. Let me nip the Black Panthers in the butt real quick. The Black Panthers were
you can't
kids.
cut them off.
Let me say this. The Black Panthers, hold on, Uncle, let me say this, Uncle. I had to correct Uncle. Let me say this, Uncle. Hold on, Uncle. Let me say my point. Hold on. Let me say this point. Hold on.
No, you're doing the New York shit, Q-Butter.
No, let me say my point real quick.
You gotta let him finish.
No, I'm building with him.
Hey, Montoya, he better than you.
Oh, no, we're not better. That's my brother.
Nah, you better than cutting the nigga off.
No, you cutting us off.
Yeah, Q-Butter's the truth.
I don't mind to let the man do it. I'm sitting back.
My bad, beloved. My bad, brother. Only because when you said the Black Panthers, I want
you to say
it was not street. So we got to understand that those were college dudes. Those were ex-military. Those was not gangsters. That's why they had to get their gun from the Chinese dude. This was not street dudes. These were dudes who lived in the street, who were intelligent, had an issue with it, but they wasn't the gangsters. You see what I mean? And that was the problem with it. And so we have to put that in perspective. This wasn't, so when they be like, oh, the tough Black Panthers, those was not the gangsters out there. And they were tough Black men, real, but they wasn't the ones that was in the street like that. And so we put that perspective out, we got to keep it in this alike. That's what I was saying, King, my bad.
Yeah, no, you good, bro. I want you to make that. I didn't mind it because I knew. Yeah, I understood. I understand why you jumped in, and that was respectful. Now I will tell you, go through the history more. It was actually more gangsters that were part of the Panthers. You're talking about the leadership of the Panthers, but they actually got the cats that rock with them came straight up out the streets. The leadership is exactly who you said they were. But again, I'm not even trying to. I'm just letting you know there's more context to having done shows with some of the original. Like I'm just giving you more context.
Yeah, but listen, I see it differently because I see it differently because
hold on now. I let you jump. Now they say I got this. Give me the floor now. I'm not gonna let everybody jump in. Here we go. I just use the Panthers as one example because they're the most recent, and I can see what they did to them in COINTELPRO. You can go study that. I was just using that because that's something you can look at firsthand. But the reality is, America relishes in violence. It loves it. That's how America got to the point that it did. So you're not going to show me periods where anybody, and I can show you periods in our own history in this country where we've had success on the defensive. You don't have examples of success on the offensive when once a country is stable. You can go through a world history. When you see countries lose out to rebels, it is always unstable country. But once a country reaches certain points and they're considered quote unquote stable, you've never seen rebels take out stable countries. Why? Because of the overpowerment of the gun power. So there is no gangstering at this point of a stable country. There's no example in history of them ever losing it through power. The Soviet Union fell not because it's the only one that failed that had power like that, and it wasn't through no gangster shit. That's the real history of the world once a country is stabilized. There is no gangstering. It will take, believe it or not, it's going to take a whole nother approach, and you have to go legal, and you can get the money legally. But there is no gangster approach. What does it even look like for 13% of us in this country? What does it even look like to gangster America when they got the National Guard that can back them up? And worst case scenario, if they would ever even turn their own military on their own, which we know happened to us in 1918. It's a big myth out of anger, but it is not strategic. It's not how motherfuckers took us out of our own country. Them motherfuckers took 200 years, 400 years. They would infiltrate like a motherfucker before they take us out. We talking about just doing the shit gangster with 13%, and we ain't infiltrating. We ain't getting up in their systems. We ain't putting people in high places. We just gonna do the shit. It ain't smart at all.
So, and now in response to it, right? So the beauty of your perspective is that we've been living your perspective for the last 50 years. My perspective.
No, we haven't. We ain't had no.
Hold on, let me say.
We have not done that at all. Let's keep that a buck, man. We ain't done that. No, you cannot say that we have done that.
Let me say it. So you said that we need to take a political approach. We need to infiltrate the system and get out.
No, I said illegal.
No, you said legal. So now let's talk about it. Hold on. The reparation bill was put on the ballot what year? And by who?
There's no reparations bill. They just fucking did a fucking vote on whether they even look at the shit.
No, the reparation bill been on the ballot since almost the 80s. I forgot the black senator that put it out in the 80s. He's been put that out. Now let's go back to the lawsuits that was sued for. Hold on. Let's go back. Let's go back to what. Let's talk about what did Huey P. Newton try to tell the cop who he went to jail for shooting? That he did not have the legal right. What did Huey P. Newton tell the cop who he shot before he shot him? You don't have the legal rights, and he tried to use the law to protect him, right? Now, my perspective and why I say respect, when I look at respect, when I look at what the Irish did in the 80s and 70s, and go watch the film they just put out with that cracker Irish dude in Cleveland who went to war with the Italians in Cleveland. And he went to war with the police. Then look at what the police did in New York in the 70s, the Italians did to get their respect. Now, I'm not saying, I never said, turn the country over. What I said was that we have not pushed ourselves in a position where they see these people will go here. We don't want them to go here. So let's keep it here. Everybody else has showed, look, we're willing to go here, bro. At the end of the day, fuck it, we're going to go here. We just keep showing them.
No, we've done it. We've done it. And this used to be the aftermath of our rebellions. So our ancestors rebelled way more than most people even realize. If you go study those rebellions, there's a whole bunch of them. You know what most people never do though? You never study the after fucking math. You never study the aftermath. The only reason MLK was able to even get the bullshit he got to work. The only reason he was able to get to work is because he knew they would overplay it. And he got caught on film. He knew they was gonna overplay it because they love to overplay it. If you look at the lynching period and how the KKK roles. We went from 12 years. I'm not pushing for no voting, but I just want to clarify something. We went from 12 years when they would get the right to vote, and we put senators and all this bullshit up in the Congress and all this shit for 12 years because the military was here holding these white cracker motherfuckers off in the South. We went from 12 years of voting like a motherfucker. When they agreed and the military left the South, the KKK took the fuck over, and by the time we got to the civil rights and the voting rights bullshit, motherfucking Alabama had a 1% turnout. Mississippi had a 1% turnout. My point being is the reign of terror is because they always overplayed it. Motherfuckers never talked about the aftermath. The only reason a white motherfucker had to be in a church with black people was after that motherfucking Turner. These motherfuckers had a law one time that these motherfuckers had to carry guns to church. White people had to carry guns to church, all because of one of our fucking rebellions. Like, nobody ever talks about the aftermath. Nobody ever talks about motherfuckers in Haiti right now eat fucking dirt every day. So nobody talks about the aftermath of what happened to Haiti.
So what you're saying, right? What you're saying in light is that we should respect them because of what they will do.
Hell no. What I am saying is
aftermath.
There is
the aftermath. If we stand up for ourselves, the aftermath is what they do.
No, you let them make it. So don't. Let me clarify what I'm saying, because I'm not saying that. What I am saying is we do not have a historical vantage point. Not just black people. Go study other motherfucking wars. I'm a motherfucking historian. Go study motherfucking people who have won war and the results and how they did it. I'm talking about the tactics, the motherfucking strategies. So I'm not saying we should respect them because of what they would do. I'm talking about what the fuck has worked. And so when we go to our own history and even look at the, let me finish. So when we go to our own history, motherfuckers go to Haiti. Haiti ain't no motherfucking win when I look at the 400 years after it. That's not a win. I'm talking about what really fucking worked. Not fuck what, not be afraid of what they do. When I say the aftermath, when I say nobody looks at the aftermath, what I mean is people stop at the positive results and don't look at the long term of what really happened. Did a motherfucker stay in power? Did they really stay in power? If you didn't really stay in power, that's not a win. That's not a win.
So I think the perspective, right? And this comes back to how I was taught. The gun is still aiming at us, the whole world of black people. And so what you're saying is right. We ain't won. We're still trying to get our pieces. And that's why I said this conversation is about reparations. I'm saying, for me, if I'm going to discuss reparations, I feel that we should discuss it with a certain type of tone so that way they understand that we're serious. If we're not doing that, I'm not having a conversation because to me, it's not worth it, because dealing with the type of people that you just described, they're not giving reparations. And the only way to get reparations.
They laugh at that tone. They love that tone.
What they laugh at. So now when you say what they laugh at, right? I'm going to tell you from my perspective, from the generation coming from underneath a lot of the old elders. I just turned 39, right? When I sit on YouTube and I listen to a lot of the brothers, I hear people argue about joining the system. I hear people argue about and condemning about each other's plans and never go against the system. And so the younger generation doesn't really understand that. A lot of what people say is like, join the system, get involved in the system, take over it, and then work your way through it. That concept has lost.
What do you get? Never take over the system based on what you just said. That part didn't add up.
By joining the system, that's the plan to take over the system. That's the current plan right now that people are promoting. That when I'm saying when I listen to the elders, I'm sitting here, when I talk to I'm listening to the elders, I'm like, all right, these are my elders. Their plan is though, you should go become a cop. You should become a district attorney. You should go vote in the system. You should go help the school system. I had an elder come here one day and say, Q, why would you build your own school? You should go work in the white school and help kids in there. And so I'm telling you that the perspective that I'm hearing lacks responsibility. It lacks the position of where we have to become independent. And the only way to stand up independent is to consistently demand what you need, get what you need, and tell anybody who doesn't give you what you need, fuck you. And the first chance I get, I'm taking my shit back.
So have you not read The Destruction of Black Civilization? Because how did them motherfuckers take over Lower Egypt from us, dog? How did they do it? Like go use history that works. Like right now, what you're saying, where's the history of that? What you're saying working? Because that's how they fucking took Lower Egypt from us. The way you're disagreeing with is how they took the motherfucker.
When you're saying, when you're describing, right. When we're discussing modern times, when we say how they took this from us, to me is the changing of the code. So in the 1900s, early 1900s, when they replaced racism with eugenic language, you see what I mean? That's when they, and while Marcus Garvey was fighting against this enemy, Marcus Garvey didn't know that he was fighting against the Carnegie Institute, the Rockefeller Institute, and all these different people that were funding scientific premises of creating a biological industry.
I'm asking you to study specific rebellions that have worked. Like
what I'm giving you, we're having a dialogue, right? We can't pigeonhole any of it to what we may have in our own reference bank. For the conversation base, we just have to be able to exchange the ideas so that way we can grow.
This question though, I did ask you, how did they take over Lower Egypt and so to jump to 1900 is
I'm gonna ask, if you're gonna say how did they take, I know you asked me a question.
How we got taken over. It's disregarding how it worked.
No, what you feel is that the connection between the author of that book's perception and the historical events that they prescribed are able to be assigned to today. That's poetry. You can look for analogies. I can look for analogies.
That's I see where you're going, but what I am saying, I'm not using just that. Like I said, I don't just study our history. What I'm saying is, when I look at examples of what have worked, there's different ways to do it. But what you're talking about when you get into the reality of your numbers and what does your firepower look like? What you're saying works just fine when countries are about even and go against each other. Then motherfuckers just who mans up and wins. But the approach you're taking when you have to study guerrilla warfare.
There's no country or book you can bring up that's going to discuss reparations. There's no historical book that can discuss a people winning reparations in history. This is their first time event.
The tactics that you're saying.
I'm talking about the tactics in discussion. When we're going to the white dude, look, I'm telling you again, what have I seen? I've seen Black people dressed in white attire, going to white forums, submitting white documents, requesting permission to speak about reparations. That's what I see.
Okay, well, okay, here it is. What you're saying is fair, but that's not your Cornell's or Antonio Moore's approach at all.
That is exactly their promote.
No,
why am I saying this? Reparations is a legal jargon word. Reparations applies to a people who are wronged in war or by another nation. It's a type of term that applies to a certain situation. So when we're saying it, we're automatically acknowledging that we are that person inside of the script, that we are the person who were wronged. So I'm saying that, like Unc said, my perspective is that these crackers still are robbing niggas. They still the gunmen. They still like this. Yo, give me your shit. Stop playing with me. I'll pistol whip your fucking kid in front of you. Stop playing with me. That's how I see white people. I don't see them as these soft people that everybody else sees. So to me, asking for reparations is retarded to me. These motherfuckers is killers. They don't respect nobody. So the only thing they respect is violence. And if Black people are not intelligent,
give me an example of them respecting violence. Give me the example of it.
Vietnam.
Go ahead.
That's an example.
So how did they respect the violence? Because
10 to 1 sent my father home.
So as a military member, let me
What war were you in? What war were you in?
I wasn't in the war. Let me tell
So
you.
hold on, before you say that, so you being a military member is irrelevant. If you wasn't in war, I wasn't in war.
Let me tell you about the Vietnam War, though. We didn't lose a battle. We didn't lose the Vietnam War because we lost a battle. We didn't lose one battle in Vietnam. So
now, perspective. All right. So again, perspective.
Go learn how we lost the Vietnam War.
My father. All right. So my father is 100% veteran, bro. Marine.
We didn't lose a battle.
Let me explain.
Did we lose a battle in Vietnam, though?
Let me explain.
How did they do
battle
it?
doesn't matter, bro. We lost the war.
Yeah, but how did we lose?
Changing the conversation. The initial question was
successful tactics.
The successful tactic was, let me explain. So the successful tactic was the Vietnamese said we're going to lose 10-1. We're willing to put up 10-1. It's war.
That ain't why we lost the war at all, dog.
Brother, that is exactly how they lost.
No, let's educate. Because that is not how we lost the Vietnam War. Now, when were you in the military?
I wasn't in the military. Did you hear anything I said? My father is a 100% Vietnam veteran, Marines, 6869. This is my father's words. We lost the war because the Vietnamese were willing to lose everything to fight for their land. The white man, let me finish my statement. The white man was not willing to do that. And once them cameras started showing, hold on, we have 70,000 troops dead. Hold on, what are we over there fighting for? And they're like, look, well, America's like, well, we killed 200,000 of them. And Vietnam is like, look, it don't matter. We're going to kill 80,000 of you. We're going to send home 80,000 boxes. You're going to watch 80,000 of your little people die. And America said, hold on, we don't want to do this war. Why do we have all of these people dying? What are we fighting for? Vietnam showed them, stand up for your shit, be willing to die for your shit, and put your gun where your mouth is.
Nah, not at all, brother. Vietnam beat us strictly with, and we stole their propaganda, and we now use it since they taught us how to do propaganda. They strictly beat us with propaganda, and now we use it on everyone, and that's America. Once we see some shit work, we steal it. That's how we run propaganda now. When we went to the
what was the last war in 100 years where a soldier had a 2-minute lifespan? For the duration of the war.
It wasn't the duration. It wasn't.
Damn near the duration of Vietnam. There was a 2-minute lifespan for on the floor. You got to go back to like World War I or World War II, D-Day, for America to have those numbers.
Whoa. Let me step. Ho. I love war. And I'm telling you, we wasn't just fighting the fucking Vietnamese. We was fighting the goddamn Red Army and the fucking Russians, supplying China, which was supplying the Vietnamese. So it wasn't like we was fighting a bunch of people in the fucking jungle. I just want to clear the air on that. And
no, we wasn't. No, hell no.
Let me finish.
Ho Chi Minh was a genius. Like my father said, Ho Chi Minh was a genius.
Let me finish my point. But United States also didn't go all in because they was beating them up. They went all in. Them motherfuckers was done. They kind of was like, well, you know how I be doing niggas with the religion and the science. I be like, I don't really want.
That's why he's what he said.
Really be hurt.
You know what? He nailed it though. Propaganda, Unc. The propaganda is the machine that they ultimately use. Is what we have to use right now. I agree with you. And the same thing we're saying here. The propaganda behind the propaganda behind the police killings is the tools that we're now using to inspire our people.
Yes,
to bring the world.
Reparations, you got to take an approach that works versus the approach
the reparations conversation will not be on the table. Reparations, hold on, bro. The reparations is on the table because America got set on fire about 3 months ago. Let's not forget. Reparations.
I'm not disagreeing with that.
So you just said violence. That's an example of violence. That's an example of physical pressure.
Nah, that's a violence against buildings, yo. It's a little bit different.
It's physical pressure versus sitting. All I'm saying is,
Bruh.
all I'm saying, listen,
Kamala
hold
Harris-
on. All I'm
Kamala
saying is,
Harris, the reparation conversation happened before George Floyd. What are we talking about? The committee met a year ago.
No, that's what your vet. But what put it on? Follow on, brother. What made North Carolina do it? What made Chicago put it on a bill was the George Floyd situation. North Carolina said, "Oh, we giving out reparations. Look, if you're black and you was born, we ain't got that." That was. But you know what though? It's a buildup. It is a buildup, and that's what I'm saying. All of it counts. All of it counts.
And Georgetown did it. Right when the vet was doing it, college did it.
Come on, man.
Huh?
Go ahead, King Sos. You ain't said something in a minute. Go ahead, bro.
Yeah, because they were going crazy. I said also during that vet tone period, various colleges start doing it. Reparations for college kids, African Americans. So yeah, there was more work put in doing the 80 West. But I want to say this too, though. Like, I understand what you're saying, Q, but I can feel that. But if you look at examples of even go back to when Africans we were enslaved, right? You find Africans winning their freedom by using that court, because one thing they respect is that court of law. If you can work that court right, so you find African winning court cases for freedom when other people are enslaved. Like, yo, why would he even attempt it? You see what I'm saying? Like that's the route. It's a reason they got this stacked up like this court case, lower court case, Supreme Court. You got to work your way up to that Supreme Court. That's where the dance is at, bro. You win that Supreme Court, it's law. That's the game. You got to get that Supreme Court win. That's law.
Hold on, Q. Let me say something. Hold on, Q. And I'm telling you that these people pride themselves on being intellectual, right? They pride themselves on the pen that's mightier than the motherfucking sword. They pride themselves on that. You get that from ancient Greeks and ancient Rome. You know what I'm saying? I mean, when it's time to put the fucking hammer down, they can put the hammer down. But they're saying we'd rather do it, you know what I'm saying, in a civilized manner. I don't know, you'll say, well, damn, that sounds crazy. So what I'm saying is that we can get this. This is the prime time to add on that real shit. That's for me, to close the wealth gap, to change the economic status, social economic status, to lower the crime rates in our community, right, where the police ain't got to run back and forth like that. We can get to the point we have institutions and help police our own self. I was raised in a community like that. I seen it at work. And I'm telling you, when we close the wealth gap,
right,
a lot of shit will open up for us, bro. We'll be able to fuck with you, Q. Q, we fucking with that.
Exactly.
We fucking with that.
Exactly.
But right now, nigga, you kibbles and bitsing. You're not gonna be able to get with the shit that you need.
Because what happens is
$2,000 fucking telescope when we running the shit to look through the skies, bro.
We get the reparations. You full-fledged school right now, Q Butter.
You can The current it is. You can go anywhere in the world, whatever fucking government system they're using. We could use that motherfucker. So we can use the current government system if we're running our cities.
Yeah.
So we don't have to. I'm not talking about, like, especially here in Atlanta, like one of the things I push for is for us to re-migrate back together. We had the great migrations out of the South in the early 1900s, all the way through the 1940s. We need to re-migrate so that we can be the majority. Like I was on a thing just a couple of days ago saying, in 10 years, we're not even gonna be the majority here in Atlanta, like, because all those corporations are coming here. But if we were strategic, we could come to this bitch like the corporations come here and ensure not only are we motherfucking in the city, but we got the numbers to get the shit we want. The system already set up if we got the numbers, but in Chicago, we 38% black. We got to go ask some other white motherfuckers to agree with us to get some shit we need. Everybody in the Northwest go to fucking Chicago and get the numbers.
Yeah, if our numbers was bigger, we would have got Stacey Abrams in as governor. But our numbers wasn't big enough. A little bit bigger numbers, she would have been in it. Would have had a black female mayor and a black female governor. See what I'm saying? We just missed out.
I just want, man, listen, I've been listening. I've been in and out, man. We need to have this show on a different day, boy, when I can sit down and have a conversation. I want to say a couple of things to address a few things. I'm going to be fast as I can. really, people really got to slow their roll down and understand the restorative justice claim, the actual claim itself, and what is within the claim. I think if people did that, then you'll see the importance of first defining who the we is, who the party is to the claim. It's not this flat blackness. It's a specific group of people that are asking for a specific claim to make those specific people whole again. That's what a restorative justice claim is about. It's not just about money. It's not just about getting some what you feel that you can take, actual take tangibles. It's about policies and protections that will make you whole from this point forward, and that takes government of any kind. Government, like we like this anti-government, not realizing that every civil society has government. We just don't like
govern yourself.
we don't like the people who are governing, but we can't be anti-government. And government is made up of human beings. And so we got to get away from dealing with people and start dealing with policy. It's all about policy. It's all about policy, not about the people. It's not about the gender or the color of the person. It's about the policy, because you can raise and be pandered by a person that look like you that we would say is black. But if they're not for your policy, then their blackness is irrelevant. So it's all about the policy that we put into play. People that's going to represent our policy. No politician in the United States should ever go in there with a full cup or their own ideas. Politicians are supposed to be empty vessels, puppets for the people, the public. It's the powers with the people. And so this is the whole thing. We've never done this before. We have actually done what I heard Q Butter describe for all these years with all these different groups from the UNIA, More Science Temple, Nation of Islam, Black Panthers, and so on and so forth. We have been anti-participant in politics, anti-participant. So here we are. Like, if you think about it, we're complaining about something that affects our lives indirectly and directly, but yet we're not participating in it. So we're sideline complainers, and we're not going nowhere. So it's like we're willfully being abused and complaining, but not taking the avenue to actually have access to change, which is the political venue through the legislative branch. That's not the judicial branch. It's not about court. It's about Congress. And so that's the avenue that's being taken, the legislative branch. And we got to understand the demarcation of government at the same time as well. So we're looking for policies specifically for us, and we got to define the us. We got to separate from immigrants, whether they're from the continent of Africa and the 54 countries or the Caribbean. And it's a specific group of people, ADOS, the United States citizens who are lineal descendants of a victim of the institution of slavery, Jim Crow, and all of its vestiges that come after that, up until 1965, when you had a Nationalization Immigration Act. That's where the it's focused, and it's focused on
can you add one piece of clarity to that? Because everything you're saying is so perfect. But when you say not legal and judicial, make this part clear though. The way the legal argument is being structured by them is such that, believe it or not, this is gonna sound crazy, but it's not asking white people for anything. It's literally legally sound to where it stands up legally, like the argument can stand up legally on its own to where it can't be denied. So they are trying to get their day in court to make that type of argument. And a legal win wouldn't be asking white people for money. It's legally you're owed this. Like
okay,
that's. I just want to throw out that that's a perspective that a lot of people miss on.
Okay, let me just say this, Q. I'll let you run it. Let me just say this. Like the judicial branch is where you argue the law and it's through enforcement. The legislative branch is where laws are made. And so this is the avenue that we're taking. You are in the law creation making perspective, which is treated totally different than the judicial branch, which are going to adjudicate what's already on law and then try to enforce that. And we get the sentencing and enforcement. So this is different. And so, like, a perfect example, and I'll wrap it up, because really, man, I wish we need to have a part 2 and start from I need to be present at the beginning because I got to actually roll. But let me just say this. Here's a perfect example of why things are different now. One, I think one of y'all mentioned the HR 40 or the so-called reparations bill being on the docket for a long time, since the 80, I think 80, I forgot,
85, 86 or something like that.
right. But nothing, it didn't have traction until the present ADOS, education and political advocacy movement, has taken root. That's why you have all of these candidates speaking about it and coming out their mouth. It was before the recent police brutalities and things like that. That's why it has taken traction, because of the strategy and the educational arm and the advocacy, the strategies and advocacy that have been founded by Yvette and Antonio. So that's why we're hearing about it. So, but what I want to say though is it's different now, because now the emphasis is in the education. People are becoming politically literate. They're not falling for the okie doke and the banana and the tailpipe from the Democrats, which we have historically been voting in terms of a party. We've been voting Democrats, but they've been pandering us this whole time. So, for instance, the original affirmative action, which was started by Kennedy and put into place by Johnson, that was originally for they didn't call it ADOS then, but it was originally for ADOS specifically. But by the time it hit the books, it included minorities. And guess what? It was set aside for the conditions of us, ADOS, but then it allowed minorities, which was inclusive of white women who were of the lineage of slave owners. So here we are, neck to neck or hip to hip with our enemy, getting benefits that are really specifically supposed to be for us. And so that was affirmative action. The Democrats did that. And so that's what we're dealing with right now. But it's changed. It's not minorities, it's minorities. But now the thing is that the government, not the immigrants themselves, but the government is using immigrants in the same way they did with the affirmative action and all these other groups, not being specific. So that's the fight that we're having. And so, it's a whole lot I could say, but I ain't trying to hog the mic. But man, I wish I was here at the beginning, because I could hear y'all, but I just couldn't participate. So we got to do this again.
I'm trying to remember everything.
Because I was gonna say a couple of things you said. You see, we gotta, not to say you said this, but what we have to stop doing, that I see, on social media, is this either or. We got to put an and in there. We got to put an and. We got to strategically do both things and not an either or. And I'm seeing people choose this or that. We could walk and choose them at the same time.
Yeah, that's the point. I put the and in there. I was like, yeah, we need to add on to, you know what I'm saying? When you boycott, you got to add that and we're to the level where we need to start discussing to cut that check. We grown up coaches know how to go get their money. Kids squabble and fight back and forth. We don't need to do this. But an adult culture, right? A culture that has matured in the struggle, who had great leaders like Martin Luther King and Malcolm X and them. To this point, man, the issue is the damn cash, man, and the institutions. That's the fucking issue. Excuse my language. We don't need you to participate in, retrain your police. You don't got to retrain nothing, because we ain't going to have a lot of people in that lane for you to fuck with anyway. And anybody you pull over going to understand what it is. Simple as that. So, I mean, for me, the issue is clear, right? For us to get back to where we need to do the standard of being able to take care of our community, right? It's recoup that daggone 500 years, you know what I'm saying, a struggle that powered, POWERED, powered the global economy. So I'm saying, what's the possibility of suing the world court? Because I'm just saying, like, we can't go to world court. But if we ain't just suing the United States, we don't need them with all the burden. I'm saying that the world owes us. The Portuguese.
Yeah, that's what your man Cupid is saying too. But I still love your Vietnam Cornell's approach, which is win somewhere, and then use that blueprint towards other countries for our brothers and sisters on the diaspora in other places. That's why, you know, they're all mad at them now, realizing if we get this
Montoya, we got a family show here. You on that motherfucker like Tarzan, yo, with your shirt off.
I'm tripping. My bad. I'm hot in my motherfucker house.
Hey, Q, buddy, you done got that nigga.
I got up on the show.
Hey, I want to reiterate, right?
Yo, and that mother like Black Tarzan, yo. Go ahead.
I want to reiterate. This ain't my argument.
Hey, Q, man, how you gonna?
It's a good combo.
Ultimately, no. I want to do what you're doing. It's just let's do and. That's literally the case. I love that.
I just want to. That's why I want to put back in context. The conversation was just about me saying why I don't get involved in it. I'm not saying that I'm against anybody else's shit. I support all of our people's movements. If that's what you feel like you want to do to get us bite, cool. If LeBron James wants to boycott, cool. I'm learning to look back and say, because I feel like the older generation does a lot of nitpicking and cherry picking and like, oh, that's not good. Oh, do my plan. It's like, hold on.
Oh, no.
So for me, I'm not taking.
I'm saying that. Coaches don't do that though. They don't be all over the place.
Hey, can I say that? I just want to say this. I got to roll. I just want to leave y'all with this.
That's your way to get back in, man. You can get in there. So crazy. That's the line, Black Sox. They look, I gotta leave. He did it 3 times.
Give it to him because he's smooth with it. He's smooth with it. Go ahead,
Woo. Yo. Go ahead, Woo. Go ahead, man.
That would be slick, but I'm not doing that. So, but listen, I just want to say this. This sounds very trivial, but that first person plural pronoun, we, us, and our, and it sounds crazy me using the word we as what I'm about to say. We have to first define the we. And it sounds crazy, but we have to define the we because the way that this strategy is very surgical, it's very specific. And we have to define the we. And so we have different layers of identity for this we. So we got this everybody black thing, which is flat black. Whoever we consider black, that's a level of we. But in this justice claim, that we is not applicable. We have to be very, very specific. And so even within those who it applies to, we even got to drill down further because it's going to take a like-minded and in sync group of people with the same interests and the same demands that's going to actually make this thing happen. Because if you notice these smaller groups, they get more done in a short amount of time. They're more efficient because they have a collective in sync. Like the LGBT, they got more things on the book in terms of laws and protections for them in such a short period of time than we have in decades. And it's because of this strategy. So we got to learn.
I wasn't a short period of time though, Wuja. They kind of packaged their thing.
Can I ask you real quick, y'all? Real quick.
Right.
We all are familiar with RICO.
Say peace. Wait, I'm gonna say it again. You had something for me?
Not gonna ask. We all are familiar with the RICO drug laws and the RICO laws, right? Conspiracy.
Yeah. 1970. Yep.
There's no arguing. They conspire. Like the evidence is there. I'm telling y'all, at 39 and my generation below me, this is the last generation that's going to be sitting there with suits on, talking all sweet, waiting. This is the last generation of that. The generation after this.
I don't believe that.
That's going to be a sad.
I'm just being honest with you.
That's
you won't be the first generation of that. We was rebellious as hell 100 years ago, and there's no wins. There's no.
No. Let me clean that up. They were rebellious.
Now, Martin got to win, yo. Hey, Q. Martin got to win, bro.
I'm gonna say peace to everybody. I'm gonna jump in this again. Y'all need to. Hey, you need to have this. You need to revisit.
Yeah, we're going to get them all.
I mean, if you take Martin got beat up, I can also take the vantage point and say that Martin did.
Got to win.
Martin did. If you look at what I believe the poet said, that the win that he got us got manipulated through the codes because we wasn't informed enough to protect ourselves in their legal system.
Yeah, that's cool. But I mean, it was not.
No. Don't say yeah, it's cool because we're living in the effect of those bad decisions. It's not a yeah, it's cool. No. Integration, no.
That ain't on him though.
Yeah,
That's
it's
on
cool.
us.
Yeah, that ain't on him.
Yeah, it's
That's
cool.
on us.
And he was going to get the money before he got killed. That's what he wanted to go get.
Yeah, that ain't on him. That's on us. That's on us. They killed him.
Yeah, he's gonna go
did
get the
what he
money.
He was trying to go get the money when they killed him.
Yeah.
Explain that, Black Doctor.
The point being, they resorted to violence.
No, it was always
violence. I'm just saying, but I'm just saying, you keep making that point. Show me the win of a stable country ever being fucked with by motherfuckers.
Look, bro, you're taking it. You see what you're doing? Let me show you what you're doing. You're taking the conversation all the way over there. All I'm saying is we need to stand up and firm as black men and say, I need my shit back. However, we need to make this conversation.
You think that's gonna work, though? Tell me why you think that's gonna work.
Hold on, look, brother.
All I'm saying, he ain't talking warfare, though. He not talking warfare.
Hold on. I'm talking warfare.
See, my bad.
Let me say this.
That's what he's talking. And I want to know, when does that, show me the win.
I'm gonna look, if you want me to say my piece, I'm gonna say my piece.
Say your piece. Say your piece, brother.
My opinion is based off the fact that I watched Black Socrates' ideology of impregnating the system get us nowhere in Baltimore, Atlanta, and New York. Right now, New York City has damn near black everything, and the district attorney's not doing nothing for us. The borough president ain't doing nothing for us. The local district attorneys ain't doing nothing for us. Neither is the black wife. So let's get past the point of let's impregnate the system and get these slow wins. It's not happening. But if that's what y'all believe, I'm going to support you. But I'm just telling you from my vantage point, that's what we've been doing. I've never seen a black man stand up that looked like you, Black Socrates, and tell a white man, look, however you want to organize this, I need my bread back. I need my shit back. If you want me to, however you want to, I'm tired of, we done came and sat in here for 30 years playing with this, and you know y'all robbed us. You know you robbed us. You know you're wrong.
Yeah, I'm confused.
I'll give you an example of when that got done, and this is I'll give you an example.
The person who did it, did he file an application or order to show cause?
No.
It's working in Atlanta, though. It's working in Atlanta, though.
No, this was our ancestors.
I'm sorry, you said it's working in where?
It's working in Atlanta, bro.
I'm sorry, what are the gentrification statistics in Atlanta? How much black people live in Atlanta?
Actually, don't happen. But the situation is
it's happening.
That people in Atlanta that got the money to buy them gentrified places.
I'm just asking, gentrification should be stopped. It shouldn't even be happening in a city ran by black people.
I mean, gentrification don't happen because those areas get beaten down. But those areas are being rebuilt, and black people are coming right back into the gentrified areas and rebuying those properties, bro. And
they're coming in, and know what they're getting? They're getting hit with houses that are almost $75,000 above market value.
Nah, that is a fact. They're getting a piece of that pie themselves.
But they're getting
part of that rebuild.
They're getting hit for extra $70,000 to $80,000 on them houses. They're getting pulled in because they know everybody want to go to Atlanta. Let's build up these little quick Home Depot houses and hit them for $219, $225. Come get your mortgage. Oh, get an FHA loan real quick. We'll get you one real quick.
How does that look, Q? How does that look running up to the White House with some guns talking about
Did I ever say run up to the White House? See, what y'all are doing is creating stories from what all I said was.
No, I'm asking you, how
I never said to do that.
No, I mean,
I said, listen, I said that this country is ran by people who are killers, the gunman, like you said. So why would I run to the gunman when I don't got more guns than him? That don't make sense to me.
Well, Q, we're trying to figure out what happens after you say.
So what you just said, how would you ever do warfare then, based on what you just said?
We're talking about. Hold on, listen. I know. If you want to discuss warfare, my opinion to warfare is that the black community needs to be more educated for the next 5 years before we discuss that conversation.
All right, that's what we saying. Yo, that ain't warfare.
No. He's talking about study, then go to war, like real war, right?
That's war. No. Warfare is having an educated people that can fight.
Oh man, see, that's what I'm telling you, Socrates. He ain't talking. We ain't arguing against that, Q, bro.
No, I look, bro. Hold on. Hello. Before we do this, right? Hold on. Look, I said I would like to see a strong black man argue his point instead of filing a document. I just want to hear somebody, like, I look forward to peeing on George Washington's grave. That's powerful to me. Like all of these things, getting reparations, all this shit, that shit's cute. But to me, I watch all of these 40-year-old people you're talking about. These niggas live in their little ass houses, making money off of YouTube. They don't have nothing established for black people but ideas, talks, and fucking conversation points. They don't have the brother asked me about brick and mortar. I'm sitting in my brick and mortar. That's why I don't listen to none of those people. I don't fuck with none of them. I support everybody. But I'm staying the fuck away from everybody because to me, it don't make no sense. How are you asking somebody who's a thief for your shit back?
Man, come on, the whole world is damn thieves, nigga. From
no,
Africa,
the whole world ain't the white man.
Man,
the whole world,
that's where you wrong at. Nah, I can't let you do that, dog.
The whole world ain't the white man.
You done made them superheroes.
No, what you're trying to create is a false equivalent. The whole world ain't, bro, the whole world ain't create the stock market, bro.
Now, hold on.
The whole world ain't go rape a bunch of people.
What I won't do is, come on, Q. You can't make them niggas as superheroes, dog.
I never said it was superhero. I never said that. You said that.
These niggas.
I never said it was a superhero.
Hold on, yo. See, Gypsies was the original motherfucking gangsters.
Every time I get in the car, in the car with you, buddy, he say something crazy. I gotta get back out, man.
You said, you said, and we both agreed that they got the gun and they are the stick-up men. And how do you deal?
You over dramatizing. Listen, what
No, I'm not over dramatizing. I'm telling you. Hold on. Let me finish my statement, brother.
Yeah, you cut
Let me just finish the statement and then you respond to exactly what I said. Don't respond to what you imagine or create some kind of postulate off of what I said. I said I would like to see a black man stand up and say this. I didn't say run up in the White House with guns. I didn't say go to war.
That black man, if we stand up like right now saying.
I never said any of that. So there's no reason to bring those into the conversation. That's imaginary.
Okay, now I'm totally confused, Q. Stand up where, Q?
I'm saying stand up.
Where?
The same places. I'm not saying stand up anywhere. I'm saying, what did I say? I said, you asked me, I'm telling the cracker, I need my shit back. If I told any of them, you don't want me to talk. I said, you don't want me to talk because the only thing I'm telling the cracker is, I need my shit back. That's the energy I got.
What if he say, nah, Q, I ain't giving you your shit back?
That's what he's gonna say. That's exactly what he's been saying for 100 years.
Then what you gonna do?
This is exactly what I'm telling the Black Socrates. They know we ain't gonna do shit. That's what they know. Because Black Socrates is gonna say, you know what? We should join the police.
What's gonna work? Tell me, because I can give it. Because I'm still.
What you gonna do, Socrates? What you gonna do if they don't give you? What you gonna do? What you gonna do, Socrates? You gonna file another document? You gonna file another application?
You ain't say what you gonna do though.
I told you these motherfuckers ain't giving up reparations.
Okay.
I'm asking you what you gonna do.
You don't ask the stick up man for your shit back.
Hold on for a minute. Let me say
what
this.
What you gonna do though? What you gonna do?
Hello. What I'm gonna do is educate my people.
No. Everybody hold.
That's what I'm doing. That's what I'm doing. I'm educating my people every day.
Hey, come on, Q. Let me say this. You have confused the hell out of me. I do not understand what you're saying. I'm totally confused.
So
1 minute is war, hold on. 1 minute is war, 1 minute is not. 1 minute.
I never said the word war.
I don't know. I'm saying is.
You said warfare.
You said war. You asked me about what are my thoughts on war. I said we've been discussing reparations.
Hold on.
I said if I'm discussing reparations.
Bro, you gotta let me talk. You gotta let me get it in. I can't let you New York me on that. Let me say what I need to say. I need to get this out. My analogy of the stick-up man has been overblown. You killed me with that and you twisted it away from how I really meant to say it. To the point where I don't even remember how I used the shit, but it wasn't in that context. I will tell you that. Well,
motherfucker, if you spend more time listening and acting like an old head who know everything, you would know what the fuck I'm talking about. Sit back and listen, motherfucker. Sit back and listen. Let me teach you that, nigga.
Hold on. The point I'm trying to make here.
No, the point you making, you made it 3 times. You don't understand. When you don't understand, you ask somebody to re-explain it. You don't sit there and give a whole lecture.
I heard it. I don't think you can make that make sense.
No, I can make it make sense. Don't do that. Don't do that, I'm highly intelligent. If you sit back and listen, I explain to you very
Yeah,
Hey, but Q Butter,
I heard you try to do it 3 times. And
No, you cut every time I talk. King Sosa did. This one's like, oh, so what about war? What about this one?
You can't rock for an hour. You getting like raw born with that. He want to
No, it's not. If you listen to the questions that are asked, all I said was if I didn't say nobody else's platform. I said that every time. If I'm asked about reparations, that's what I said. I don't know why y'all keep asking about all this other shit. Y'all are turning this. I said if I'm asked about reparations.
Yeah, but then I asked you, Q, but I say, oh, I thought he was talking about warfare. He ain't talking about warfare. You go, no, I'm talking about warfare.
Now, if you want me to break down, hello. Now let's discuss warfare. Are you talking about going to shoot in the street?
That's what I'm trying to figure out. What
yes
you
or no? I asked you a question. Are you talking about going to shoot?
I'm not trying to go shoot.
Hello. Let me talk to Socrates. See, let me just break this down. I'm not talking about going to shoot. Socrates, bro. Brother, I'm just clarifying. Hello. I'm talking to Sosa. Neither of us are talking about going to shoot in the street.
Okay, so that's
all I want to know. All right,
so
cool.
why bring up the stick-up man argument then? Because you gotta go shoot
hello,
the stick-up man.
Not why. So this is the point. This is the point when you listen. You asked a question. Now you stop talking. The reason why. Hold on, listen. No. You got put the dentures in the bottom.
Hey, Q, wait a minute. Here's my
question. Listen. You asked the question. Now you listen.
I'm not asking the question. My fault. I'm saying is, if you use the stick-up man analogy, when you go get your shit back from the stick-up man, he got to know you really kill his motherfucking ass. That's why he might give your shit back. You got to be able to bang him out. So you can't use that analogy. And then
hold on, brother.
Talk about that.
Hold on. So listen again. What I said was, my view of the white man is that he's a stick-up man. And so the stick-up man is only going to respect you if you come to him with violence. Since we're not coming to him with violence, the stick-up man does not respect our request.
Got you. But he didn't go to Africa sticking them up, bro. Did you really study the slave trade?
No, bro, you changing it. Do you understand?
Take it like that,
bro. We're talking about
with the army like that, bro.
I never said he went into Africa. I'm talking about in America. The white man's position against black people is as if he's the stick-up man. We're at a downwinded position, and we have to request in hopes that we can get an ear.
No, that's not. So go ahead.
How do we win? What you mean? How do we win outside of education? We know we got education.
No, hold on. It's simple, Q. Watch the question, Q. What does it look like when you waiting for a man to step up and say, "Give me my shit back"? I'm gonna give you the floor, bro.
I'm sorry. Say that again.
What does it look like when you said I'm waiting on a person to say, somebody step up and say, "Give me my shit back"? What does that look like, Q? Explain that. You're an intelligent person, like you said.
That looks like someone who all right. So what it's gonna sound like? It's gonna sound like someone who has self-respect.
No, we said, what does it look like? Explain what.
How it sounds like. What does it look like?
Yeah. I want to understand the action. What does the actions look like to you?
Yeah, I don't want to go do this tomorrow.
I thought Yvette was standing up saying,
"Give us out." Hold on. Want me to explain it? So,
because I thought Yvette them was doing it very intelligently, standing up saying, "Give me my shit back." Man, I'm confused. Go ahead.
And when they saying I said the word reparations and need my shit back is two different statements. When you earlier, said, "I need my shit," I said, that's my slogan. I need my shit back. I don't say reparations. My slogan is, I need my shit back. I said that's the kind of tempo and energy that we should have with white people. They shouldn't be sitting there comfortable feeling like, oh, we're gonna have a great meeting today in a conversation. They should feel scared and under pressure, like, yo, we need to give them their reparations.
Yeah, what does it look like? Yeah, what does it look like though?
We're trying to figure out how do we make them scared.
So now, hold on, can I make this statement, right? Now, with
every time we ask you the same question.
I'm trying to talk, but you got your screen. When I'm talking, your screen is moving.
All three of us asked you the same question. You never
I'm trying to answer, but I'm trying to answer.
All right, this is our fourth time asking.
What does it look like? It looks like someone demanding, first of all, right? My playing field is that I'm not in their playing field. Oh. So when we're in their playing field and you're asking for stuff, you're automatically not representing an independent position. When we start representing ourselves independently, our power base, economic base, social base becomes more respected. And now when we demand things, or when we're asked to sit at a table, like, oh, why haven't Black people been in the mix? Why don't y'all want to participate? We don't want to participate because y'all owe us money. We need our shit back. They start asking us, where have you been at? Why haven't you been around? We don't fuck with y'all. We focused on us. Why don't y'all want to play basketball for us? Because y'all robbed us all these years. Why don't y'all want to work in our agencies? Because y'all owe us money. And when they start seeing that, look, we're not fucking with you because we know you're not going to give it back to us. We know you're not going to treat us fair. You're not going to play us on the same fair. So we're just going to do it on our own. And then by that time, as we keep developing our own, they're going to eventually respect it because they have to, because we're doing for ourselves.
Okay, you said they have to. Show me where that's worked at ever in the history of humans. Show me where that's worked at. Because
you said in the history of humans, where has it shown that? Like, China.
We have romanticized what we think Jews do.
China. I just gave you an example. China.
So China, you're talking about a country.
You just asked me for an example. China focused on themselves. They invested in education. They did not use violence as a means to fight against the white man. They highly invested into STEM, and now they're one of the world that are right underneath America.
China has its own country. That's China.
Bro, you asked me for an example. You just asked, look, you asked me for an example of a country. I just gave you an example.
For people, 13%
of population. Go ahead.
Right.
Go ahead, Socrates.
Yeah, exactly.
Now, if you're saying specifically, if you're asking me what am I basing my rationale on, I'm looking at other countries and other people and what did they invest into. They said, look, we're not going to focus on reparations, right? If we can get it, we're going to get it. But right now, let's focus on what we can do to get us right. We need to educate ourselves.
Okay, hold on for a second.
I would encourage you, I don't want to argue with him, but I would encourage you, because some people have formed their own countries, I would encourage you to study that. I would encourage you to study it.
So Q, let me say this, Q. Hey, Q, guess what? The Chinese analogy was a bad analogy because if you listen to Donald Trump, the United States been giving China how much money for how many years there, Black Socrates? So they didn't ignore the way they took that bread. They
did you just quote Trump's? No, did you just quote Trump's quote for China?
Yeah,
it is a fact that China. How much money does China own in America?
No. I said the United States have been, as far as trade, right?
50 years ago, how much did China own in America 50 years ago?
No. I'm talking about the trade deal that was cut.
I'm talking about ownership. Hold on, bro. I'm talking about ownership.
No.
You're changing it up, bro. 50 years ago, was China in the position to own anything in America?
I'm saying China took money from the United States government based off of the trade deal. And it made them billions of dollars. And it was that way until Trump jumped in office and changed it. So you can't say on their own, they stepped away from white people. They truly didn't. That's all
I never said, hold on. When you said, I said they focused on themselves.
But got money from the Europeans.
Nobody said you can't get money from where you get money. That's business. Nobody said you can't get money from where you get money. You sell t-shirts. You can sell t-shirts wherever the hell you want.
That's false. That's a false equivocation.
You're forgetting that you had said at one point we wasn't going to be doing anything with them, and then you thought that they would come to us.
I said focus on educating yourself and investing in yourself.
No, you were saying that we wouldn't play basketball, and then that would make them come to us. Like we would have respect for us.
Yes.
Doing too much, man. You say do it. So I'm just saying.
So you're saying the opposite. So you're saying if we don't do for ourselves and we don't create our own stuff,
I didn't say that.
But what are we saying? So what is the point? So what is the argument? So do we agree that if we do more for ourselves and take on more of our responsibilities, the world will respect us?
That's the problem, Q. That's why we ain't in a position.
Hold on. It takes money to It takes money to take care of yourself. You just said it takes money to take care of yourself, The drug dealing, coke selling, crack dealing just said it takes money, or does it take ass work? Does it take motherfucking get off your ass to get it?
So what
Come on, How many times I heard you tell niggas, don't tell me about no government money, go hustle. Go get it on your own. How many times you done told niggas that, Unc?
That ain't right, Q.
How many times you done sold that to niggas?
Let me turn my camera on, Q. God,
How many times you done sold that? I'm not hearing that shit. You need money to be responsible? No, you need to bust your ass. You need to read and educate yourself, and don't be lazy. That's how you take care of yourself.
You done misled a lot of folks right here.
That ain't right. Take that back, Q. You ain't never heard me tell you.
I'm out here misleading the people. I swear to God.
Oh, this is barbershop talk. Fuck them niggas. That's my uncle right there. They can kiss my ass. That's my uncle Wes. I ain't seen my uncle Socrates in mad long. If you don't like our conversation, fuck you. Y'all, we having a good conversation. Man, listen, man, it's 2 fucking in the morning. It's 2 in the morning. We talking about reparations.
You gotta be energized,
We're
bro.
doing either or, and we don't have to do either or. So
I didn't say either or. I'm with you, Socrates.
Let me say something, bro. When you say it, so are you saying don't do that? So you are putting it in. Let me finish. So I was just showing you how you were putting me, challenging you into an either or. And what I'm saying to you is, when I go study, for example, what happened to the Japanese after World War II and how they rebuilt. When, like, again, I don't know. I just love studying history. What I'm saying is,
let's talk about that money.
What groups do to, in a sense, pull themselves up. They are constantly strategically making moves with those who are, in a sense, possibly sometimes over them, or in some cases better than them. So they always make strategic alliances, siphon resources, and they have a certain level they want to get to, then they go stand on their own. That is a reality.
That's all we saying, Q. Right there, Q. Come on, dog.
Repeat what he just said. If that's all he's saying. Shut up. Don't say nothing, Socrates. Turn your camera on and repeat what he just said. Because that ain't what the fuck you just said. Because I don't know what the fuck he just said. Repeat what he said,
What he said was, if you study Japan, right, or any group that has been oppressed or whatever, or war, or what they do is they take money, right, that is due to them. They siphon off the resources. They build it up to where they can step the fuck away. That's basically what he's saying in a nutshell. And I'm saying is, once we get ourselves in a position, we can step away like you're saying. But we're nowhere there. We're not going to power through it, and we'll never get there to do it.
So when you say we're not there, so what I hear is,
let
me ask you something, let me ask you something. Black Socrates, and the poet, can y'all afford $400 a month to get a location that we can rent for to build a little school in?
You said, can we afford? You saying like individually or together?
Yeah. You got $400 a month so we can build a little community center?
You saying individually or the group?
Yes, individually. Do you got $400 each so we can just rent out a space and build a little community center in?
I mean, we probably all could put $100 towards that for maybe.
So I'm just saying, so if we got that much each, let's do that. That's my generation. Let's take what we got and do while we're waiting for your generation's plans to come to fruition. But I don't understand, like, we can't do nothing until they give us something. That's what it sounds like you're saying. We can't do nothing for ourselves until they give us something.
It sounds like it because we're trying to give you context to your plan. So you think in our critique of our plan, you're putting words in our mouth. We're the ones.
No, you just said.
I've been doing that now.
Did you not say that we need their money? So you're saying we cannot build for ourselves.
No way. You should hear me say, don't do nothing. I couldn't say and if I was also saying don't do nothing. I'm not begging you to listen to the and if I was saying what you're suggesting I'm saying. You cannot hear that. It can't sound like that to you.
Let me just repeat what you said. You said that we need their resources so we can do for ourselves.
So what I am telling you based on the real life numbers. So
real life numbers.
Hold on, real life numbers in Brownsville. I'm doing for Brownsville with my shit. So I don't understand when you're saying why with all of the money you got can't do for Georgia, why you need a cracker to give you reparations before can go do something for Georgia.
Where you getting can't do
why I want to know, you can't build something in Georgia or you need reparations before you build a science center.
Yeah,
Okay,
Q Butler, we need that. We need that almost 200 to be almost 2 million.
I'm just saying, no,
Hold
we
on,
need to
hold on.
say
I got
we're
this.
going to do it.
Hold on. I got this. Everybody be quiet. Let me unmute myself.
You wasn't muted.
Hold on. I'm taking this motherfucking money and investing in this motherfucking kids. And I'm building a legacy so they can inherit some motherfucking money from me. Q, do what you do. I got my 5, yo. That's where I'm at. I'm good now. That's what I'm doing now.
I know what you're saying.
I'm raising my tribe.
Right. So
I'm not investing in my tribe. So my tribe is the most important thing to me. My tribe consists of me and my goddamn babies. All right.
So let me
I'm
reword it this way.
Hold on. I got 3 in college right now. That takes
no, you ain't got to go down the whole resume.
So no. Hold on. My point is clear. Right?
As to why you can only focus on yourself and your family, but you can't build for nobody else.
That's all the resources I got, right, is going into my tribe. Simple as that. I love my tribe because if my tribe ain't right, my generations ain't gonna be right. Now, if everybody did what I did, then we can form a motherfucking strong community, bro.
Exactly.
So hey Q, that's all I can do, bro. I'm doing what he can do. Last 20 years, nigga, I invested my life into this shit, making sure niggas fuck with the scientific literacy, nigga. This shit is ringing.
So now, with those 20 years,
I'm good with that.
Hold on, with these 20 years that we have in the 50 years, what I'm saying is that the mentality of waiting has gotten us nothing.
Q, I'm not. I'm just not waiting.
About waiting. I don't know what you're talking about. Like, where are you hearing that from? Nobody suggested that here.
Anyways.
Now, Q, don't get mad.
I'm not mad. I'm sitting here calm.
Because you got a brilliant. Hold on, Q. Don't get mad.
I'm calm as shit. I'm nowhere near that.
Hold on. Let me say this.
I'm super chilling, baby.
Hey, Q. Don't get mad, yo, because you got a brilliant idea and you got your kids 200-300. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna soon have 1,000. Nigga, don't get mad. You was built to do that, nigga. You know what I'm saying?
No.
And nigga, I applaud you for that.
No, you're taking it that you're not. See, again,
how many kids you got? How many kids you got?
It's not fuck the school. It's not about that. The question I'm talking about is that our next generation is going to look at you, Unc, and me and say, what did we build for them? And that's all I'm saying is, Unc, let me finish my statement, man. Unc, let me finish. Let me finish, Unc. Damn.
I wasted 10 hours on this motherfucker.
Sip your tea, Unc. No, sip your tea. Sip your tea, Unc. You got to calm down, Unc. Sip your goddamn tea. Sip your goddamn tea.
What I do?
Listen, Unc, what I'm saying, and I want to make sure I can hear it.
He wasn't directing at you, Unc. He's making a broader point. He's making a broader point.
What I'm saying is,
broad, nigga.
Unc, right? All I'm saying is, we with the mentality, I don't want it to sound like we're saying that we can't build until we get reparations.
Never said that. I said we can't.
Hello, brother. You respond the whole time I'm talking. You responding. Hey, listen, brother.
Let me over and over. We keep telling you we've not once said
bro,
that.
You too close to your phone to be paying attention. You too close to your phone to know what I'm talking. You're holding your phone like this the whole time I'm talking. You like this. You're not listening. There's no way you listening to me. You like this. The whole time I'm talking. You like this. Oh no, Q. No, that's your. I see your whole gums every time I'm talking. You're not listening. You're not listening. So I'm gonna sit back and shut the fuck up and let you go again. No, Q. Go ahead, finish your point, beloved. I don't do that.
You don't do that, bro. Come on, you cutting people off, and I let you cut me off. And I say,
go ahead. All of y'all cutting each other off.
I never said cut off. I never said no about cutting off. I said again, listening skills. I said there's no way you're listening to me if you're holding your phone like this while I'm talking.
Well, I keep hearing you saying we can't. Our perspective is we can't build. You've said it over and over.
No, that's not what I know, brother. That's why I said you're not. You gotta see. Look. Now you're listening. See how your ears at the phone? I know when you're listening.
Okay, we wasted time.
No. You're not talking. You're not listening. Your face is to the phone. You gotta put the ear back. That's when I know you engaging in the conversation to listen. Like I'm gonna sit back and shut up.
Do headphones not exist?
He don't got no headphones. You can see he got to go earrings. He got to go.
Damn, you wasting time. Say your fucking point, man. You bullshit now.
I'm far for bullshit. Unc, where your black ass at, Unc? Uncle Unc, stop playing. I need a lineup. Y'all know Uncle's a barber too. That motherfucker will fuck this shit up though. Don't catch him on a Wednesday. Don't let Unc catch you on a Wednesday. He'll fuck your whole of your shit back here.
Can you at least admit not one time have you heard me or Unc say, wait to build? You keep saying
hello. What I heard was, and if you listen to what I said, I said what it said. I don't want it to sound. I said I don't want it to sound like.
Oh yeah.
That's what I said. I don't want it to sound like we're saying that we need reparations to build. That's exactly what I said. I don't want it to sound like. That's why I said it like that.
Okay, finish your point.
That's what I said. I don't want it to sound like we're waiting for reparations because oftentimes I hear, and I start saying from y'all, but I hear people make it seem like we can't build unless we get reparation. I'm not saying y'all are saying that. I'm saying that that's an underlining tone.
I'm saying that we cannot close the gap that you want to close without fucking reparations. That's what I'm saying, bro.
Yeah, I'm saying that too.
Can I put a point in there, right?
No matter what you say.
I feel it. Let me ask you this question.
Give me the map to show me how we can do it.
Let me ask you this question. Unc, look. My opinion with that. Hold on, I'm gonna ask you this question, right? In my opinion, right, Black people would have been able to catch up, but if it wasn't for the continuance of racial policies and legislation, we would not able to catch up. And think about it. If redlining, if we were given the support for loans, if we were given support for community development, if our communities were beautified, those are policies that kept us from being able to grow. When they purposely dump in our communities, when they purposely undervalue our houses, when they purposely mess up our communities.
Are you listening, Q? We know that. That's why we said you owe us, dude. For that reason, Q.
I'm not. I didn't say that's not. Listen to what you didn't hear the question I said, Unc.
No, you said we would have. No, I'm saying if they.
Unc, I agree with you. I'm saying that.
How do you think you can catch up when they had a 500-year lead, yo? What you talk? Come on, yo.
How? You bust your ass.
Q.
We gonna get up. These crackers is retarded. We gonna get up. If they stop, the manipulation.
Please tell him how.
Hello. The reason why I say this is, especially with the ADOS movement, right?
Oh man.
Because when they didn't include crack, and the policing that the government did to further fuck up our community. To me, all of these things is what they did. So I'm like, look, this is what we are. Crack cocaine and the government's fucking pushing of that shit in our community was fucking extremely detrimental. They owe us for that too. They owe us for the policies that they created. It's a clear conspiracy that they brought the drugs in here, built the prisons up, and threw us in this shit for that reason. So I'm saying that all of those things are contributing to why we're here. And I'm not disagreeing, but I'm saying that if we didn't have the hindrance to the day with our own shit, we can catch up.
You wore me out there. You got the whole crack. So, go ahead.
Now, y'all feel like y'all can't catch up without some help or some reparations? That's on y'all. That's not me.
All right, hold on, yo. Let Socrates speak. Socrates, can you explain to him?
How about we let CK the poet speak? Because I think y'all made y'all points very clear.
I'm sorry, see, I thought that was my bad.
Y'all doing too much.
I'm so sorry, sister. I didn't even know there was a sister on the panel. I am so sorry, sister.
Man, I've been here for like 2 hours. What do you mean?
You lie. You ain't been a little damn 2 hours, see.
Here for 2 hours.
Nah, you tripping. The show ain't but 2 hours right now.
Okay, that's about how long I've been here now.
All right, bullshit. Well, go ahead.
I don't know, but it's Socrates' fault. I'm blaming his son. That's his fault.
Yeah, it's Socrates. I need you to explain how that gap ain't gonna get closed by powering through.
I'll let her definitely get her point. I know she want to make a point. I definitely do.
Yeah, let me make a point.
Gracious, man. How y'all go from talking about y'all were talking about police brutality, and then we got on reparations somehow, some way.
Barbershop.
Well, no, we need to go there. That's what we said. That's the thing we focus on. That's why we went there.
So, you know, of course, you know I like to come through and start a little bit of drama. First and foremost, peace to the panelists, peace to the chat.
Power.
Your girl CK the poet. I know some people may disagree with me. Take it how you want to take it. But I really like the analogy that Brother Q Butter made about us trying to demand something from people that don't want to give it back. I mean, people can take it how they want to take it. And I never really looked at it that way. And even these past couple of years, some of the rhetoric that people have brought up, you know, has really made me look at things in a different perspective. You know, it took a long time for me to let go of that Black supremacist view that I used to have. Oh, you know, fuck the white man this, fuck the white man that. You know, oh, he always doing this to the Black man and the Black woman, blah, blah, blah. And then I remember like a year ago, Garfield said something along the lines of, how are you going to ask white people to give you reparations if you're sitting up here calling them all these names and saying how bad they are and how terrible they are of a person, but the same person that you're trying to ask them to give you something, you ain't got nothing good to say about them. You ain't got nothing respectful to say to them, but yet you want them to do something for you. When we know good darn well, if it was one of us trying to ask Unc for some money, and then I call Unc a gang of names and talking all crazy about him behind his back, is he really gonna want to give me $100? You know, so I kind of understand Q Butter's point when he's saying, yo, you know, these people, they kidnapped us, they brought us over here, they made us work for free, they made us build up their country, they tried to give us a few carrots here and there to try to keep things at ease. And then, you know, our ancestors tried to demand reparations. They didn't get it. You know, they tried to get some type of voting rights. They got that. That was a carrot, you know. And even back then, they were asking for reparations. And of course, as you can see, we still don't have it. And then people in the 80s and even up to this day, you know, still trying to put something forward to try to get some type of reparations. And I mean, HR 40 kind of gives me a flicker of hope, but I really don't know how that's gonna go. Like, I would love to be optimistic about it, but it's really hard for me personally, to be optimistic that we're going to get reparations when the majority of our population is so fragmented and divided. We're divided on religion. We're divided on these political affiliations. We're divided on on the identity. You know, like how Wujawa was saying, like, oh, who should get this reparation? And, you know, I know that I was very vocal last year, you know, even got banned from the damn chat because I was hot with some of the rhetoric that I heard coming from my own Black people, because it's almost like we want to separate ourselves from the rest of our Black people because they were born in Jamaica when America was sending slaves back and forth between the islands in America. So that's why I made the comment, you know, how far back are we going with the slavery? If we're going to say that, hey, we were working for free, how far back are we going? Are we only going to do after a certain point so we can exclude some people from getting that money? Are we doing the whole slavery? So are we going to do what Q Butter is suggesting, that, hey, that we need to hold accountable all these other countries that were involved? Because it wasn't just America. We had the English, you had the French, you had the Dutch, you had the Spaniards. Don't forget the mother flipping Arabs. They were the first ones. You know, they didn't bring us to America, but they started all that craziness off. You know what I mean? And let's not forget the African tribes that benefited off of the slave trade. You know, we got to decide, how many people are we going to hold accountable? Who are we going to hold accountable? Like, how far back are we going? Who all should be included? And that's where we spend so much time on just that, because it's just so convoluted. That's why I said, yo, I want to agree that cutting the check is going to solve the problem, but a part of me doesn't think that it will, because who gonna get the money? And then, like, yo, I feel like we just need our own space. Like, we need some land so we can build our own little schools, you know, have them give us resources for X amount of years and for X amount of years so we can train the other younger kids coming up, and then we can have our own space. We got outside the jurisdiction of the United States, because that's something we haven't done yet. And even with, you know, when people get talking about Black Wall Street and a lot of the things that were being done, like in Oklahoma and Texas, you know, in Philly and even in New York, when we had these Black communities, you know what I mean? And of course, you know, Klan, white supremacy ended up destroying all that craziness. I mean, all that that we had built. So it's like, but they were still under the jurisdiction of the United States of America. So I understand what Q Butter is saying when he's like, yo, we need to demand for our stuff back, because evidently us acting nicely hasn't worked. But us demanding, whether we verbally demand or we violently demand, we have to be honest with ourselves and admit that, yo, we only 13% of the population. And then a portion of that ain't people that were born over here. They were born somewhere else. So they may not be down with our cause. And then out of those people, a decent amount of us are in jail and prison. So that's cutting the numbers down. And even if you do get them people out, most likely felons and can't have a weapon. Even if we did try to be violent, they can't legally own a firearm. And then two, we don't even have enough weapons. We don't have the numbers. We don't have it in if we tried to go to violent. So I see what Butter is suggesting by saying like, yo, we need to get on that education tip. So yeah, if all of us have better education, we were getting those jobs, that make a little bit more money. Like, I know that's not 100% what he was really saying in that regard, with us working for the white man, but that's what I'm going to say. I'm going to say that I think that we should be doing multiple things. I think that we should be sending Black people to school so that we can get a better education. We should definitely be trying to go for higher paying jobs so we can make more money. So if we're making more money, we can be able to put things more towards whatever we're trying to do for the community. And then two, once you work for the white man for a little bit, that extra money, then we can start putting that towards these other projects that we're trying to do in the community. But we all have to agree, we got to get past these identity politics with trying to be Hebrew, trying to be more. Oh, I'm Afro-Asiatic. Oh, I ain't none of that craziness. I'm a Aboriginal. Oh, I'm African. Oh, I'm this, I'm that. Oh, I ain't none of that. I'm Jamaican. Oh, I'm Dominican. And I don't know how we can really get past all that, because it's just too much, and it's just too much different stuff going on that I feel like is holding us back. That me personally, I don't see how we'll be able to go forward. But in closing, I just want to say that I think that we should try everything. I think that we should have a group of people that's doing what we've been doing all along and seeing how far they can get with that. A group of people that's doing the self-sufficient thing. A group of people that's trying to, see what they can get out of the white man and then make that money and then come back. But at the end of the day, we got to get as many Black people together to try to see like, can you leave your religion at home? Can you leave your identity politics at home? And when we come into this building, can we say, hey, all of us that just happen to look the same and had family members that's been born here since the 1500s or whatever, can we all agree that we want to put our money in this pot so that we can get a school, so we can get, this type of training or whatever, so people can make more money, so we can bring it back and have these programs training the other kids to keep doing what we already started, so it doesn't start and then stop after 10 years.
Let me say this though, like, okay, 13% of the population. Okay. Understand that 13% ain't just all men. You're talking elderly people, disabled, women, children. All right. So the wall conversation, that's a dead conversation. Like, we don't even need to have it. That's just completely off the table. And it seems as if every time we had the reparations conversation, the people that's talking about reparations, we're not talking about stopping everything else. We talk about in addition to. But the other people that's not agreeing with the reparations is thinking that we saying stop everything and just do reparations. Like that's always like the big mix up that's happening. Yeah, we're not talking about, we're saying keep doing what you're doing, but understand that we need reparation to build the nation. Otherwise, it is going to be individual successes, small wins, Q Butter, LeBron over here. But if you want the nation to get lifted up, it's going to take reparations, man, and policy. That's really the argument. We're never saying stop. We're not telling Q Butter to stop doing what he's doing. That's never the case. Go ahead, Socrates.
I ain't got nothing to say. That's all. That's it. That's it. Now, I'm sorry. I'll ask you to tell you the numbers. So I will tell y'all the numbers. But what you just said is ultimately, yeah, that's what I was so confused. I'm kind of like, why are we saying we can't do it this way? Like,
Yeah, I know who said that. Where's that creeping?
Yeah, like King Sosa just
That gave Q a chance to go ahead and promote his school a little bit. I get it, Q. I get it, yo. I never said stop doing what you do, Q.
That's how you feel,
That's that New York shit. Y'all don't listen to on Black Soccer Team.
You gonna call a couple more gray in this argument.
Go ahead.
All I say, numbers wise, and this is why we say is needed in addition to what you're doing. So the numbers, here's the real numbers, whether we like it or not, here's the real numbers. So there's really never been a point, even when we romanticize Black Wall Street, and we do romanticize it. What I mean by romanticizing it is we had Winston-Salem, we had Rosewood, we had Harlem for a small period was doing his motherfucking thing. Tulsa, of course, was doing his thing. But even in the gist of that, it was always still our top 1% that was fortunate enough to live like that. And so the reality is there hasn't been a point in which we've had more than 2.5% of the wealth, even back when we think we had our own shit. The reality is right now there's $107 trillion of household wealth in the fucking country. We have 3.5 trillion of it. So the concept of building that 3.5, for example, into 7 with some what happens is we have no choice but to get financially literate. We have no choice but to be as self-sufficient as we can be. But self-sufficiency currently with them, because your 3.5 is actually competing with the rest of the country, whether you like it or not. That's the reality of markets. That's the reality of money circulating. It's competing no matter what. And so unfortunately, the reality is that in going forward, you go get money from the people you're competing with. That's what people have done, whether it was through oppression or whether that have moved themselves up over the years, or whether it was through war and they were down. That's what they've done. Like the concept of building up the way we talk about in the conscious community is one, because we typically only hear our numbers, for example, just on our own. Like the number we always talk about, for example, is $1.3 trillion that we spend every year. People rarely look at what that is spent on. 75% of it literally goes to housing, transportation, and healthcare. So it's not a bunch of discretionary money like people think, because, yeah, we got a tendency to be flashy. Yeah, we'll buy a Mercedes when we can or whatever, that kind of thing. But what happens is when you look at all money spent around the country, 17 trillion gets spent every year. Every group is consumers. America makes us all consumers, not just blacks. We're not the biggest consumers. We don't consume any more than anybody else. But most of our money goes towards our needs. That's every culture. There's not a lot of discretionary money. But when you're competing with one group that took our shit, like you say, Q Butter, they got $10 to our every $1. You're not closing that gap, even if you are as financially sound as you should be. My best friend, who is a financial advisor and multi-millionaire, his formula is live off 70%. Well, if you live out and he got wealthy doing it, and it ain't. And again, I'm not saying you can't get wealthy doing it. He did, but at the same time, if you got $1 and you motherfucking living off 70, investing 20, and whatever, investing 20% and saving 10%, and that's the formula. And you got $1, that's 30% you putting away. Well, you competing with a motherfucker that could blow 80% of their money and you still can't ever catch them. And then I'm not talking about the goal is to catch white people. That's not what I'm talking about here. What I'm talking about is having enough money to be able to circulate and actually get in the industry. What they did and fucked us over on is why we can't even get in some of the industries we would want to get in. The reality, I've had a brother on my show call and say this, and he's right about this. So he goes, He was like, at this, like, and this is just one example. This is one example, but hopefully you can catch the concept. So he says, at this point, he'll say, for example, he says, there are programs that can easily get you on the shelf in Walmart. But if you're not taking part, like the brother who got off the call said, if you're not understanding how to participate in the situation, then you don't know how to get your shelf in the Walmart. He says, at this point, when the industry is pretty much ran like that, to the idea of having a Walmart to compete with a Walmart he said you would spend all of your money trying to come up with a Walmart and have nothing else. What you do is get on the shelf, collect that money, and as the world becomes global and new industries create, that's how you get a Jeff Bezos. That's how you get. So when something new and we're so creative, we could have enough money to where we could be the leaders in future industries in a global market. Like that's the strategy that you take. It would be strategic alliances while doing your school, but at the end of the day, when that money drops, we now can we can compete with the world. And when we say when that money drops, we're talking about policy and fighting legally to where there is no argument against reparations owed, because at the end of the day, we've watched other groups get reparations for the very same people that didn't want to give reparations to the people they gave it to. They got it. We're good enough to get it too.
Yeah, with that, I'm gonna make that closing statement right there. That shit was
real quick.
Nah, we out here.
Hold on, Uncle. Y'all just did 4 people respond to me. Fuck you, Uncle. I just want to real quick, bro.
Come on, man.
No, we can end it. No, we can end it. I just wanted just in going forward, when I love what you were saying, King. But when you word it in the future, just try to rephrase it versus saying when that money drops, we will be able to. That's what I was responding to. That's what I was saying. Like, it sounds like you're saying we won't be able to do this until we get that. That's what I'm saying. Reword that part because that's what I'm saying. That part makes it sound like that's why I was saying, yo, we can put our money together and do something right now. That's what made me say that. That's all.
That makes sense. Yeah, I appreciate that critique because I think you're understanding what I'm saying. But yeah, you're saying that's the weakness of how it comes off. Like, I respect that critique. Thank you for that. I got to think about how the brother said.
I didn't get that. I understood that we were actually doing something and then when the money dropped, we can actually do more. That's how I took it.
Good though, but I respect for this brother who
now you gotta give Cuba.
I know when you say you understood it, but I was just saying verbatim for what he said is when it drops, then we will be able to. And I'm saying that statement itself, you heard it that way. That's what I'm saying.
That's a great critique. Appreciate that.
All right. Yeah, you punch drunk.
And just so no, we're not, because I want anybody else to know too. You shut the fuck up when it comes to reparations. I shut the fuck up. I don't just because I don't like the word reparations. Don't mean I'm here. Oh, we don't need to talk about it. I'm with the game. Reparations in this bitch. Then when they put the mic on me, it's gonna be, yo, I need my shit back. Fuck is you talking about? I need reparations, bitch. You better don't give me the motherfucking mic, you cracker motherfucker. I need my shit back. That bitch in England, fuck Donald Trump, fuck Con Edison, fuck all these niggas. Tesla, that nigga robbed us too. I need my shit back. Universal Records, suck my dick. DuPont, suck my dick. Yeah.
All right, we out of here. This episode won't be shown nowhere to nobody based off of Cuba at the end. It's over with, ladies and gentlemen. We're officially out of here. Nobody will get no
real quick, man. If y'all do happen to wake up in the morning, I do my show every Saturday morning, 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. Tomorrow we're doing Black prisoners. Why are they forgotten about? I got attorney Mawuli Davis here in Atlanta, civil rights attorney, and a sister whose father we're trying to get him out of prison. He's been in there 31 years, nonviolent drug offense. He should have got out years ago when they was doing the commutations of those type of sentences, but he his ticket to get pulled. So we're gonna be doing that show in the morning on Blog Talk Radio.
But didn't get pulled.
When they was when Obama and them was letting those people out, commute the sentences with a nonviolent who had already spent time in prison. They just ran it like a lottery. It was some weak ass shit. So he qualified.
What?
He didn't get the ticket.
Man, YouTube, bro.
Ran a
Now
lot.
I'm on Blog Talk Radio.
All right.
Just look up mental dialogue, or find me on Facebook. It'll be at the top of Facebook in the morning. Mental dialogue Facebook page. I always run the show.
Post that shit in the link, man, because I've been trying to find pseudo killers all night. I keep seeing mad different shit coming out. I can't find it. Post the link.
I got the first time I tried.
Put it in the link. Put it in the link.
Hey man, it's pseudo killers, yo.
I know how to spell this shit, Unc. You ain't gonna say it's P pseudo.
I think you spell it like KILSD though, right?
No,
that's
why. KILLAS, man.
Oh well, I think
I fucked that one up. Yeah, I got you.
The first time I tried to find it, I ain't find that motherfucker. I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah, damn. So yo, you said it, then he said it like an old head. It's pseudo killer, motherfucker. Just type the shit in, stupid. Yeah, I'm sitting there feeling all stupid, like damn, son. I can't find this.
AQ is AS, yo.
I found it now. As soon as you said that, I found the shit.
Yeah. Well, hey, look, I appreciate everybody coming through, man. Y'all went over my time. I always say I like to do an hour and a half. We had 2 hours strong, yo. 2 hours. We rocked out. We had fun, man. Hey, man, support the ideas and concepts, man. Support the brothers with the ideas, man. AQ, what you got? Some kind of GoFundMe or something? What you got? How do a person support you on that real quick?
We got the GoFundMe, Zionist Institute and stuff. You want to donate, you know?
Zionist
Institute. Yeah, I know it's a weird word. It sounds like a fucking German drug and shit, but we came up with the word. It was 4 black guys. That's a black man's word.
I thought you said Zionist.
I know they kill that. Y'all people walking, let me get a Xanax. I'm like, yo, bro, there's no N. Where the fuck do you see an N?
Yeah, my daughter wear that daggone sweatshirt, yo. That sweatshirt I bought.
Oh, hell yeah.
Hey, look, we out of here, man. I appreciate everybody, man. And yeah, man, I think it was a good one, man. We out, man.
Great, Bill, yo. Appreciate you. I learned from all of y'all. Appreciate that, man.
Hey, I'm gonna make sure you don't get no check, no money for you. No money for you, bro.
That's cool. I'll give it to you like this, it's gym life. Nobody can give you money in the gym. The only way you can get money in the gym is you got to go get it yourself.
Hey man, look, my rule is, if you know you're gonna cash that check and spend that money when it comes, don't argue against it. And with that,
I'm not saying shit. I'm with you. I'm with the shit. I still, I've been getting reparations ever since I went to the first hotel, selling towels and shit.